What is up, everybody? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Sparza, coming to you on a wonderful Saturday afternoon. It's been very difficult. It's felt like 4 Fridays in a row, so I'm very confused as to where we are. But there's a UFC, so it's a high likelihood that we are there. And our buddy, Christos Iagos, is murdering right now. This is going great for him. I'm enjoying watching him. We are in the second round of it. I've got 3:55 on my clock. But we have to take a moment here, not only to thank our sponsors, our good friends over at Nogi BJJ Gear. Use the promotional code Grappling Hour 15 to save 15% off of whatever you put in your cart. Also, Manscaped, use Verbal Tap for 20% off. And also our good friends over at Dodgy Collective. These folks, go to Dodgy Collective. You can get great stuff like this, among other things. But we've already got a friend joining us right now as we are midst of action. So why don't we go ahead and put on the branding for him so we can bring him on proper like.
Bitch better have my money. Bitch better have my money. Hey, what you owe me? Bitch better have my money.
Ladies and gents, it's always a pleasure to welcome our next guest back to the show. As always, ladies and gentlemen, say hello to our good friend, Dan Hubler. Dan, how are you doing, sir?
Good to be back. Been a little while.
Well, you took some time off, and we've noticed that sometimes when you go away, even better things happen, and I don't personally like that all the way.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see if we can kind of break that trend today here. I did bet on Diagos in this first fight, and it's looking pretty good so far, so we're off to a decent start. I was kind of hoping he would get a finish here, but Minus is looking like a little bit difficult to put away at the moment. I was hoping that he maybe switched to the arm triangle and stop the rear naked choke attempts, but I guess we'll see.
I think Christos also might just be A-okay with, letting somebody know what he felt about not fighting for about a year plus. So I think that is part of what we're seeing here today is him just being like, hey, maybe I could have finished this guy. Maybe it's a little sloppy here and there, but motherfucker, this dude does not look happy being underneath and with all this pressure all the way through.
Yeah, you got to say he's probably got at least a 10-8 round in the bank already. And, for taking a fight on 3 days' notice, you can't really be too mad at that.
And props to him, man. I mean, a catch weight at 160, makes weight like a champ, wearing kind of, it's not even a man bun. What would you call the hair that Christos is rocking here?
I have no. It looks like something that Uriah Faber would have tried, 10 years ago or something like that. He looks like he's gonna walk out the California Love, or I don't know. But he's a California guy, right?
Yes,
maybe,
he is.
Maybe inspired.
I mean, here's the good news. You do see him right now looking pretty good. I mean, he's got the back. He's got the arm underneath the chin. And Midas is just making the right adjustments just short of it, man.
Midas keeps turning his back too. It's like his whole rear naked choke defense is like, let me just give up my back in like all these different positions and see if things get loosened up. I really wish Garros would switch to the arm triangle though, because I really do think he could finish it from the arm triangle. But I mean, again, he took the fight on 3 days' notice, and he's probably not the best cardio shape right now. So a dominant victory, he's probably looking at a 30-25 if it keeps going this way. So he's doing very well.
I didn't even look at the odds, if I'm being honest, because he was added so late.
Yeah, he was like a minus 300.
But how incredible is that to be on 3 days' notice and then find out things should be against me, but I'm the favorite here.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure, I'm sure. Coming in late like that, and everyone's expecting you to put on this performance. But I mean, he's doing it so far. He's looking really good.
I mean, Midas looks like he's getting another win here, so we will see a third round right now. But Dan, so you took the week off, and here's where I have to credit you. Even though you were not here, you were still trying to, while on vacation, send us your picks, and I can't tell you how much we appreciate that.
Yeah, and they did pretty well too. Last weekend was one of those weeks where things kind of go the way that you think they're going to go. Obviously it's a fist fight, anything can happen, but every once in a while the UFC throws you a bone and it goes the way that you think it's going to go. So hopefully it's another one like that tonight.
I also want to bring this up because I don't want to tell people how they're supposed to bet, but there is something of note that people should know. So you have a secret society of betting that you do. What is happening in that world right now, sir?
Well, right now I'm tied for first place. It's a betting pool put together by BJJ black belt Adam Wheeler, also Olympic medalist Adam Wheeler. He started it a couple years ago. This is my second year in the pool. What happens is that you put $50 down for the entire year, and then throughout the year we bet on every main event and every title fight. And so right now my record is 41 wins and 14 losses. I'm tied first place, and if Steven Wonderboy Thompson takes it tonight, then hopefully I'll win first this year.
Do you know who you're tied with right now? Are you allowed to say? Is that something the Illuminati
Yeah,
is willing to discuss?
Yeah, a guy named Reed Walsh, BJJ black belt, Reed Walsh. So, there's a lot of, pretty informed guys in the group. There's some guys who train. There's some guys who don't, but then last year, a guy who was like a baseball coach won third place. So, like I said it, we were talking about it today in the chat, and someone said, "I'm like, oh, I've just been lucky." And I'm like, well, sometimes luck is better in a fist fight than overthinking it. You overthink it so long, you're like, this is what's going to happen, and then nothing like that happens. And so sometimes blind luck is better in that regard.
I'm just so glad that he moneyballed his way to doing well in your guys' fight pick'ems group. And by the way,
Well, I mean, baseball guys. They run analytics better than probably any other sport. I'm guessing that he probably he knows the shit. So.
well, good. I'm glad to hear that. So this is not coming without merit. This isn't even saying that you haven't made people money here on the show. We are letting people know that you have authenticity as somebody who's bet an entire year's worth of cards and have been consistent with your picks. Just as consistent, maybe if not more so, than Christos' takedowns, which are 5 of 7 at a 71% rate. So good on him. I would tell you this, though, right now. I do want to see what you have in store for us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull that up. I'm actually going to put it over myself in just a second here. But this is just so people get an idea of what we are dealing with on today's betting pick'em. So let's do a quick outline and then we'll break them up bit by bit here in a second, sir. So what are you feeling in terms of the general pulse of this event card?
Well, this card I think is closer than a lot of them. There's a lot of really razor thin matchups, and that kind of speaks to how well the matchmakers put this one together. I tried to stick to mostly main card matchups for my picks. I thought there was a lot of value on the main card. Also, I got to go, run to the store real quick and do some Christmas shopping, so I didn't want to bet on the prelims too much. But there's a lot of good action on the main card, and there's some good underdog picks. So I think there's an opportunity to make some good money.
All right, well, let's break them down bit by bit. We're going to start, I suppose, look at this. Perea versus Williams starts round 2. Explain that for us, sir.
Yeah, this is a prop bet, and you're not going to find this on every single book that you use. Some books only allow you to bet on the fight, who's going to win. Some other sports books allow you to bet on more specific details of the fight. This is a prop bet saying that basically both guys just have to survive round number 1. If this fight goes into round number 2, then we cash our bet. Doesn't matter who wins at that point, we win. The reason I'm betting this fight is there's so many unknowns. You don't really know what to expect from Chaos Williams. He's been in the UFC for a total of 57 seconds. He's completely steamrolled everyone. And I also think that has led to some recency bias. So, I think people are going to think that that's what you can expect from him in every single fight. And I think that's kind of like a bar that's a little bit too hard to continue with. I think when you look at Chaos Williams' fight record in his professional career thus far, he has gone to decision about half the time. Most of those decisions were on the regional scene against guys that he should have demolished. So when you put him up against a UFC caliber fighter, regardless, I think these guys are both, equally level athletes. They both have power. I can see this one, a little bit of showboating, slowing down the fight. And do I think both of these guys can last for 5 minutes? Absolutely. So, at minus 180, that's a no-brainer. It's going to start round 2. I mentioned already, like, if I'm wrong here, at least it's going to be a highlight reel knockout for one of these guys. But I think more realistically, the first round will be a little bit more measured. Pereira will do a little bit of that showboating, running around, looking goofy stuff. And all that does is 8 minutes off the clock. So if that goes the way I think it's going to go, then we start round 2 and this bet wins.
putting myself back on here. Okay, excellent work there. I would say this, though. We did already get a note. This is how you can tell you are beloved on the show. It says, greetings for Korean Zombie. And that's from Mamed. Now, I don't know if that means that he's passing it forward for you to give to the fighter Korean Zombie, or if it's just for you. But we'll take it as if it belongs to us here.
Yeah, absolutely. That guy's got a great beard and he's got a V in his name, so I'm sure he's got some pretty decent wrestling.
That is the best way of looking at it, especially when we say, you're Russian, right? So did you grow up with a bear, or did your family have to go find a friend with a bear? This fight goes the distance for Christos, who looks like he is going to be handed a decision win very shortly. He looks exhausted, though. And if you've ever had the opportunity to roll with Christos, just know that the amount of pressure that man puts on you is very uncomfortable. He is relentless with his pressure. Since he's been working with Jiva Santana, his jiu-jitsu has come a far, far way as well. So, very happy and very proud of him. We'll probably end up giving him a toast, even though it's against the rules, but they're my rules, so I make them up as I go. Anyway, we go to our second...
I break the rules for a guy that wins by like 30-25. That's pure domination from bell to bell.
Well, not just that, but like... if we know the guys, sometimes it's a little bit harder because some of them, I'm not going to say all of them, but some of them do watch. And they get mad where they go, well, it went the distance, but why couldn't you have taken some time to toast me? And I go, you know the rules. Don't come to me like I did anything wrong. If you're here watching enough, you know exactly what happened. So I know this is slowly getting out of hand. What I will tell you this is, let's go to this second fight that you want to go ahead and bring attention to. I'm going to put the camera back over on you, Dan. Take it away.
Yeah, Rob Font. This is if you pay attention to the way I bet, I don't always bet on the fight straight up. This is one of those instances. This is Rob Font plus 3.5 points. I do think there's value on betting Rob Font as the underdog straight up in this fight, but I do think that this fight is much closer on paper than a lot of people are thinking. So I do feel a little bit more comfortable taking the extra points in case it goes to decision. I'd like it. I feel, if the judges are always hard to read. You never know what they're going to value. In a matchup like this, where you have a guy like Font throws with volume, and you have a guy like Moraes who is a little bit more measured, throws fewer punches, but more significant punches. You never know what the judges are going to see. So going into a fight like that, I do like to have that extra cushion, the extra 3.5 points. I think Moraes, he tends to fight in short bursts. I think Aldo kind of wrote the book on how to defeat Moraes, even though Moraes got that decision. That goes back to what I was saying about the judges. You really never know what they're looking at. So I think he's going to fight this fight in short bursts. I think Font is going to come in there with that, that size advantage. He's going to use that to kind of dictate the pace of the fight. He's going to throw with a little bit more volume. If he can kind of avoid Moraes, those early counters and avoid that power, I think he might win the fight outright. But again, I think this is going to be kind of a closer decision. I would like to see – I could potentially see a little bit of value on betting Font to finish this fight. Moraes' chin has been a little bit shaky in recent years, and I could see the potential of Font, with his volume, catch him slipping and, maybe getting the finish. Do I think that's the most likely scenario? No. I think, the most likely scenario is that this goes to a decision. It's a 29-28. It's a close fight. And with that being said, I'll take a guy with the points. So I'm going Font plus 3.5 at minus 170 odds.
Word. Look at that. Jesus Christ here, Dan. They aren't even going to interview our boy Christos. So unfortunately, there is no little post-fight interview I could get a little nugget for. But MMA Fighting did just tweet out something that I think is an interesting little factoid. That is Christos' first win in over 500 days.
And on 3 days' notice, it makes it even more impressive.
Jesus, good for him, man. So proud of the guy. And just to let you guys know how the weirdness of that scorecard went, it was 30-26, 29-27, and 29-28. So
whoever gave a random minus there is a fucking dipshit. So I think it goes back. It's ridiculous. The judging has been ridiculous. I mean, this entire quarantine we've been spoiled with so many fights. A fight every single weekend, but we've also been like we've gotten like a bad decision almost every single week. At least once, like there's a judge like, what the hell were we watching? So.
I sometimes wonder if we can put judges on unemployment. and just kind of like make the choice to put them over. Oh, that's not your branding. We got to switch that out. I went to a different thing. My apologies. I switched to a different thing. Watch this. Bam. Korean Zombie back. For a split second.
Mike is much better jiu-jitsu than me, so I guess I'll take the compliment.
I don't know. I mean, listen, dude. Has Frosto had a bunch of people try to tell him in a comment section his spin to win isn't going to win?
Actually, fun fact, I tried the spin on Frosto in a tournament, North American tournament, and did not work. He took it back.
Listen, we don't need to know those information nuggets right there. I'll just tell you that modern day Dan Hubler and a modern day Mike Frosto would be a fun match to watch. So maybe we'll put that together in the future.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll bet on him. I'll throw the fight.
Of course. All right. So I'm curious about this one because I looked at it. I agree with you, but I also want to hear why, because it seems the common consensus right now is that people are moving behind Chito Rivera at a huge rate. Why should people be betting on him on this fight, sir?
I feel like Chito's a guy who gets constantly overlooked. You know, I think the narrative of this fight is kind of like a changing of the guard. You know, they're not too different in age. I think Aldo's only a couple years older than Chito, but, you know, he's been fighting for the last 16 years. There's a lot of miles on that body. So I do think that this is, you know, Chito's on the rise. Aldo's kind of on a bit of a downhill spiral here. He has shown some flashes of brilliance. You know, he's lost his last 3 fights in a row, but within those 3 fights, he has had some decent moments. The issue here is like, how much longer can he do this? You know, 16 years of, you know, getting punched in the face, eventually that, you know, your body's got to kind of shut down a bit. So I do think that this is kind of like a changing of the guard type of fight. I do think Chito should be coming into this fight on a 7-fight win streak. That Song fight, you know, more than half of media outlets gave that fight to Chito. I gave that fight to Chito. I thought he won that one. But regardless of that, he's still coming in, you know, definitely on a hot streak. I do see Chito, you know, heating up over time. He's kind of one of those fighters that, you know, the first round might not go so well. He kind of, you know, gets his timing down. He might not win that first one, but I do think he improves throughout the fight. I did mention in my breakdown, I wish this was a 5-rounder. You know, in a 5-rounder, I would definitely take Chito a little bit more. I bet him a little bit bigger. But in this 3-round fight, I do see him getting better as the fight goes on. I can see him even potentially getting a finish on Aldo. You know, Aldo's, you know, been fighting for so long. His durability is kind of not where it used to be. Chito is on the upswing. I think people are always saying, like, you know, they're kind of underestimating him at all times. I think a lot of people thought O'Malley was going to walk right through him. You know, obviously O'Malley got hurt in that fight, but Chito hurt him. You know, it's kind of I kind of feel like he's like Jan Brady. Like, people just like don't give any respect. He's just like the sister that no one thinks is championship material. But I really do think Chito is on the rise. I think the UFC has done a really good job of making him kind of one of the faces of UFC Latin America. I think he could do a really good job for the UFC as far as bringing more of the Hispanic South American audience. And I think it'd be good for the UFC if he wins.
I want to come in here and just, you know, inform the young children. Jan Brady was a character on you know what? Ask your parents. That's a good way to do that one. I just like the fact that I'm starting to realize now that some of the references I make from the 70s, you know, I'm watching Home Alone yesterday, and I look down and I see them making fun of a movie from the 40s, and all I could think of is, oh my God, that's like us talking about something from the 70s. What the fuck? So I'm having great issues with those sorts of things.
Yeah, I had to admit yesterday, watching the season finale of The Mandalorian with my kids, I'm like, this is better than all the Star Wars movies I've seen before. I'm like, those are classic films. They were great for their time, but this is so much better than all of that. Sometimes, you know, that's how it is.
Wow, I didn't know that was where we were going to go here. I can tell you that yesterday when I watched The Mandalorian, you know, I obviously loved it. I enjoyed it. But one of the things that does bug me, and I don't know how you feel about this, is that there's a lot of sentiment of, oh man, if only they had given the keys to Dave and Jon Favreau, that would have been great. And I'm still here saying, but we got this. And they go, but what if they had given the keys to them? And I go, no, we got this. Like, this is the thing. Why don't you just appreciate this? This is the thing that we're all happy we got.
I think the sentiment is more, I wish I could have just enjoyed this without sitting through 12 hours of Rey and Finn in the theaters. I think that's more of the sentiment.
I get that, but I also understand that those movies did a lot of money as well, and there is something significantly cool and weird, and also kind of, oh, this is what we're doing, when you see that they have Sentinels now that are essentially Iron Men, and yet there's a cool payoff for all of those things, and you say, this is combining all of the shit, but it took for years for us to get to here, so I'm just happy we're here, because now you can appreciate all these things. It's sort of the same way when people are mad, they're like, oh, I hope Hayden Christensen can act, and I was like, I agree, he was very bad in those movies, but maybe now if he has a director that doesn't just yell more and faster, he might have a shot here.
And if that season finale proved anything, we can just CGI him with a robot and make him act. So all good.
Well, that's a very terrifying thing to know, that we're going to start seeing all the people show back up out of randomness. Like, I don't know. No one ever really dies is, I guess, the real sentiment that we should be saying here. So, Dan, let's talk about a little bit about this last pick that you got here, because I don't know how much I love the main event on paper, and yet here we are. Can you walk me through, if that sentiment is something you share, or at least in a betting sense, why we need to be aware of it?
I fucking love the main event. I think the main event is a perfect value, because I don't think the line represents what's actually happening here. I think when we look at the fight history between Thompson, we look at, Jeff Neal, the quality of opponents, obviously you have to give that to Thompson. He's been fighting the much higher caliber opponents for a long time. I've heard the name Gatekeeper thrown out there recently. I don't believe Thompson is there yet. I know he's getting up there in age, but I just don't think he's quite there yet. I think, Gatekeeper would be like a Mike Perry, someone like that Jeff Neal just recently beat. So I think Jeff Neal has kind of passed that stage. He's going to move on to the contenders stage, obviously. But I think Thompson is a little bit, he's different to work with. I'm watching, all the pre-fight stuff. I know that Neal's been working with, Uriah Hall. He's been working with karate-based fighters to try to get ready for this. But I don't think you can really get ready for a guy like Thompson. I don't think there's anyone else in the UFC who really fights like him. So I think in this fight, people are not giving enough credit to Thompson. I think that, that violent knockout that Pettis hit him with that Superman punch off the cage, that happens 1 in a million fucking times. That happens when you fight Anthony Pettis. That doesn't happen when you fight Jeff Neal. So I think that knockout, and people are kind of saying, oh, his chin is cracked, whatever. I mean, how many times this guy's taken some shots? Yeah, he's been dropped. He got dropped by Till. He got right back up. He finished the fight. So I think that, Thompson is being underestimated quite a bit here. And I think Neal is being overestimated. And I think a lot of that also has to do with, things outside of the fight itself. Jeff Neal nearly died 3 months ago. He was in intensive care for an entire week. He was on dialysis. His coach thought he was going to die. The nurses are saying it's not looking good. That was 3 months ago. And now this guy's on a main event, 5-round fight, fighting against one of the best in the world. I think it's a huge misstep to put Neal as the favorite in this fight. And I think Thompson has a ton of value as the money line underdog.
Yeah, that's something I didn't quite understand. And I think it's more so that I didn't like it in the sense that when I saw the betting odds for that one, I just thought, oh, this is good business for you. It just seems oddly disrespectful for Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, who is obviously been beaten, but by highly super elite competitors. So it's not like he's just should be written off. Like, for me, I think, yeah, he should headline a UFC card. Yeah, he should be in that conversation. But when we're talking about Neal, all I could think of was, I like those odds for him, man. I like that. I don't know that I love the fight necessarily as something I'm super excited about, but we'll have to see what it turns into tonight.
Thompson has put together a fight history of some terrible fights. Some of the most boring fights in UFC history have had Stephen Thompson in them. But, that kind of speaks to why he's such a great value. He manages risk very well. His distance is great. He implements that side kick to kind of create opportunities. His angles are amazing. His hands, the whole keeping him low thing, it works for him. Like he kind of ties it all together. And I think when you look at a guy like Neil too, who's primarily a headhunter, like 90% of his strikes are thrown at the head, that just kind of goes right into Thompson's wheelhouse. He's so dynamic. He throws strikes all over the place. He makes those angles. And then you throw in the fact that Neil's fighting without a corner. His corner, both, Saeed Sayoud and Uriah Hall have both, tested positive for COVID. They can't be there today. He's going to, they said, okay, he doesn't need a coach. But I think that's just kind of shit you say. Like, oh, you got this, man. You got it. But, round two, round three, and things aren't going your way and you don't have your coach there, like, that doesn't make any sense that he's the favorite to me. All these things are, against disadvantages for Jeff Neal. I think he's, a future contender. I think I could see him a couple years from now. I could see him winning this fight. But I think right now is bad timing.
Word. Well, sir, we should probably start rounding in a second, but we did just get a flying triangle submission from one Jimmy Flick, who, by the way, has been in talks with us. So hopefully we can book him within the next couple minutes. So we will do a toast for him. We will do a toast for Christos. Couple quick questions in terms of tomorrow, though. Tomorrow is a double header in the grappling community. Is there anything we should be aware of on what we should be doing in terms of betting lines for either Submission Underground or Combat Jiu-Jitsu? I don't know that Combat Jiu-Jitsu has betting lines.
I didn't even know about the Combat Jiu-Jitsu card. I knew about the SUG card because I know that Sunshine bout got switched up at the last moment. So I think that's kind of the thing you have to remember with any of these events now is like if you're going to bet on a fight, wait until it's closer to the event because there's so many changes that are happening like right before the event now. I mean, even this UFC, like 3 fights got dropped in the last couple of days because of COVID. With SUG, fighters dropping out at the last minute. I know Andy took that fight on like a day's notice. It's really hard to make any informed decisions when fights are being matched up at the last minute like that. So as far as like the grappling stuff goes, with UFC, the favorite win most of the time. I think with the Submission Underground and the Combat Jiu-Jitsu stuff, the favorites win almost all of the time. So I would say if you're going to bet on those types of events, small amounts on the underdogs, just enjoy the show. Don't really look to make a bunch of money on SUG or Combat Jiu-Jitsu because it's not going to happen.
Thanks. I'm glad that is the outlook that we got on that one. That's a beautiful sentiment. While I'm kind of remembering things as well, so you've got a nice hat there. We should be reminding the people on where you can go get it. Where do people find that sort of hat, sir?
So this one is one I made to kind of be a little bit of a troll, a very subtle troll when I'm out and about doing my Christmas shopping. People see the words and they're like, oh, who's the fuck is that guy? And then they look at it closer, they see the little 46 on there and they shut up. But this is something I made for IPA JJF. You guys can check out IPAJJF.com for all of my designs. Obviously I used to do work with Nuwaza, but when I broke from that and just kind of started doing my own thing, I decided, you know what, I can just make whatever I want. If I want to wear something, I'll make it. And if other people want to wear it too, then cool. So I decided to make this hat just for me. And then other people liked it too. If you like it, you can get it on IPAJJF.com.
Look, we have the nice little insignia down there. We didn't really rehearse that one. I just saw he was wearing it, and I said, let's go ahead and make a mention of that. Though, if you're dropping merch, I guess I should tell people the secret is out because, look, for Christmas, just in time, everybody, we finally broke the cherry and we finally made this thing happen. And I don't know if you've ever done this, Dan, but whenever you do something like this, I hate the fact of not getting the proof before I start promoting it. So, like, I was like, can you send me these so that I just didn't super fuck up something and, like, leave, like, I don't know, part of my social security at top of this somewhere and, like, the GIF that I make of it or the PNG. But, yes, we have those. So we'll have more information on where people can get that a little bit later.
Well, it looks like you're using Next Level Apparel tees, too. So you're off to a good start. Those are the most comfortable tees for making stuff in jiu-jitsu, I'd say.
Bro, I was looking at all of those different apparel options, And I just said like, I don't know more than everybody else, but I know for sure that they're the t-shirts that you wear when somebody's like, hey, I got a new brand or something, that don't feel comfortable. And then you're on air, and I'm on air for a long period of time. So whenever that happens, I go, I'm stuck in this shit for 6 hours. So yeah, I want to make sure that we do our best.
People think you want 100% cotton. You do not want 100% cotton. It's not comfortable. You want a little bit of polyester in there. Just makes everything. The nipples don't get shaved. If you decide to roll around in that t-shirt, do a little wrestling, you're okay. It's you want a little bit of polyester. If you're gonna start a jiu-jitsu brand, do not go 100% cotton.
I think that is a very fair sentiment. And you know what's funny is I realized too as well that Kevin got to a point where we have Verbal Tap t-shirts and they're all with him right now. I have a small stock of them. And it got to the point where I told Kev, I go, have you sent them to me? And he goes, no, I'm going to get to that. And I go, you know what? I bet you I could just order shirts myself and get them here faster. And lo and behold, we have finally some Grappling Hour t-shirts. So I'm very happy to have started doing that. But yes, please support our good friend Dan. Go to IPAJJF. Buy you some good stuff there. It's not just the hats. You've seen me wear some of the other stuff. You've seen me wear Street Jesus as Jesus. You've also seen me wear, what was it, Joe Kelly pout face, which even, by the way, I think I might have told you this. Somebody at set on the show that I work at basically took a photo of me wearing it. And he looked at me and he just goes, hold on, can I get a photo of you wearing that? And I said, yeah, absolutely. He goes, I gotta send this to my friends. Oh, this is so great. And I told him, I was like, yeah, just go buy it from this place. And he goes, yo, that's so cool. I go, my friend made it. No big deal.
Yeah. That's my best-selling design. I spent all this time thinking about jiu-jitsu related stuff. I'm like, I gotta make this cool. I gotta make sure BJJ Tees hasn't already made this. I gotta make sure that this company. I'm not biting at this company. And then I thought of that Dodger design, and that took like 5 minutes of work, and it was the best-selling design I've made. So
I mean,
some of this stuff comes natural.
Dude, that's the whole thing is. I don't fuck with a ton of t-shirt designing, but I do know that it does help to have a brand to go with. So I always go, yeah, I gotta make one of these. And then even making one, I'm just like, how has Dan done like 49,000 of these? Like doing one gives me enough fucking stress where I go, I'm not even doing anything other than putting our design on it. I don't want anything complicated. I just want people to have a fucking shirt, because half the time they say, where's the shirt? And I go, it's coming. So it's here now. Dan, we should probably do the cheers on out for the two folks. Would you like to take Christos or Jimmy?
I'll take Christos, because I didn't even see the Jimmy fight.
I'll give you
that flying triangle happened when I wasn't paying attention. But Christos whooped the ass. 3 days notice. Put on a hell of a performance. Didn't lose a round, in my opinion. Those judges are idiots. You deserve all the bonuses for taking that fight so quickly and putting on that performance. Great job to you, grappling. Cheers.
Cheers. Great grappling. Great work out there. Come do the show again. I'll be hitting him up. He knows that. All right. Let's also do our toast to one Jimmy Flick. Jimmy, listen, dude. I know that we've been in talks to bring you onto the show. I know that you've been badass, but you literally just got a flying triangle. By law, you are required to come on a show that talks about grappling. In fact, the only show named The Grappling Hour. I know, because I looked it up, and I have the website. So I just want to tell you, there's no better place to talk about jiu-jitsu technique than coming on with us. So cheers to you, good sir. Appreciate you. Appreciate you continuing to give us really fun highlights to look at. All right, Dan.
Yeah. I missed that fight. I mean, it happened so quick. You could probably do a quick turnaround and hop on the sub card tomorrow if someone gets hurt.
That's a great call, actually, now that I think about it. And I may have to call up Frosto and do that, because we're doing that as a new segment. We have a new segment on the show, just like we have this as a segment. We now have a technique breaking down segment. And I can tell you guys this, because you're watching, we will have Chase Hooper coming onto the show for Verbal Tap later this week. So yes, he did see the highlight breakdown that we did of his finish, his heel hook finish. And he's like, yeah, that was actually really good, man. Thanks, dude. So I appreciate that. No, he's been a fan of ours for a long time, and we're a fan of his. So it was equally cool to see those things happen. Dan, I want to get you on out of here, but before we do you have any final thoughts? Because I do believe this is your final breakdown of the year, sir. So, is there any kind of sentiment or notes that you would like to leave the year on?
No matter what, if I lose every single fight tonight, we're still up for the year. Just on the grappling hour picks. We've had a great run the last couple of weeks, so we're up no matter what. I would always like to remind you, don't bet more than you can afford to lose. If you're going to bet anything, just assume it's lost money. Don't do anything irresponsible. Have fun with it. Don't be a dick. That's it.
That's some good notes. We got to come up with a shorter phrase version of that, which is almost that Jay-Z, if you can't buy it twice, you can't buy it sort of a thing. So we'll work on finessing this. Dan, I want to say thank you so much for all of your contributions this year. I'm already looking forward to next year, and I may just come in on that betting pool because I already have to do half the research as is.
Yeah, I appreciate your $50 donation. Let's get it.
God damn it. All right. Well, cheers to you, Dan. I appreciate your time. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Dan Hubler.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Peace. All right, ladies and gents, we love you guys being here. We're so stoked to have you for the rest of the night. Dan, obviously, gracing us with his presence. I'm so pissed at him for saying that good joke, by the way. That's a really good joke. Fuck him. Man, we have a long night, though. We have 10 more fights here tonight. We, of course, started off with Hot Fire. We had Christos. We had Jimmy giving us 2 amazing fights back-to-back. I am already feeling the vibes, feeling the love from all of y'all. I think we are going to continue the way that things are going right now. We're going to go ahead and give them a few minutes to go ahead and get ready for the next fight. But coming up next, it does look like we will be going and continuing on the UFC Fight Night prelims. All right, so let's do this. While we're going to wait for them, I think we're going to take a moment to go ahead and put on the branding that we did this week. Earlier, I don't know if you guys got to see it, but we started a new segment. I just previewed it with Dan. It's called The Details, and we had our good friend Michael Frosto joining us, showing us how Chase Hooper was able to finish on out his submission. We're going to go ahead and show you guys that clip right now while we wait for this next fight. We'll be right back in just a second. What is up, friends of Grappling Hour? Hey, we're excited to bring you a brand new segment wherein we take apart certain parts of things that happen, say, in mixed martial arts fights or jiu-jitsu matches across the world. We take a little bit of a closer look with our good friend Michael Frosto, who, by the way, has been taking photos and amazing videos of jiu-jitsu competitions for years, and I'm so glad that he brings his unique eye and a little bit more in-depth analysis. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the show our good friend, Michael Frosto. Mike, how you doing, sir?
Good. What's going on, brother? It's good to be back.
Hey, man, it is a pleasure to have you. I'm so glad that we're doing this segment because I don't know if people know this, but in addition to doing all of that camera work and all the stuff that you're doing behind the scenes, you are an excellent coach, and I wanted somebody to break down some of these really epic moments that happen in MMA. Now, you picked a really, really good thing to lead off our series with. Can you tell us what we're going to be breaking down today?
Yeah, so we're going to be looking at Chase Hooper from, I believe, this last weekend's fights. Chase was losing pretty much the entire fight leading up to that. He had some good entries and some good attempts to bring the fight to the ground, try and entangle the legs. And it wasn't until the 3rd round, after he took a ton of damage to his leg, ton of shots up top, that he was actually able to get it, stay there for a while for him to work, and then finally got the heel hook finish. And it was nice, man. It was good to see. And apparently he credits that to some extra training he's been doing that we'll talk about right now.
Well, I wanted to ask you, when you first saw this, how did you first see this clip? Was it somebody sending it to you? Were you watching it live?
So I was watching it live and I was losing my mind. I think I might have told you, watching the entire event, this was something I was like planning days in advance. And literally I had everything set up. As soon as it hit 4 o'clock, I was like, all right, I'm chilling out on the bed. I'm putting the TV on and we are just going to watch these fights. So I was losing my mind. I was in here by myself, kind of screaming. I think my roommate panicked for a bit, but well worth it. It was a good night of fights.
And before we go into the actual technique, did you have a high expectation at all going into this fight that we were going to end in a heel hook?
Not specifically. I've watched Chase Hooper a bit. I haven't studied him as closely to know what his go-tos are. But obviously everyone knows he's a very talented grappler. So I was expecting some grappling, but didn't have any insight into his preference of finishes. So once he started kind of, taking some shots and making attempts at the legs, especially with as much damage as he took, I kind of figured that would be his best shot to get it there. Once you're tired, it's difficult to get chokes and strangles from any other position. So I felt the legs were the best shot, but the way it came was pretty sick.
Well, speaking of that, let's go straight to it. So we're going to break this down bit by bit. You have 5 details that you thought were pretty important for us to look at. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at the very first detail right now?
So the first thing was the entry. I rewatched the fight. He had a couple of other entries throughout the duration of the fight. What made this one a little bit different was that he pressed forward on these. Some of the other ones he was trying to time off of Barrett coming in, but on this one he led with a 1-2. So Barrett's a southpaw. He came in southpaw and he matched him with that. You know, Chase was kind of switching his stances between the two. He came in southpaw. And one detail I wanted to point out is the way he's gripping his leg right now. So he threw his 1-2 from southpaw position to close the distance, and he has a grip going from the inside, wrapping around the back of Barrett's knee. Now, typically, if you do like an Eminari roll, it's your opposite leg that's going to come around. The way he's going, you usually want to roll towards the outside of your opponent's body. In this case, he's going towards the center line of his opponent's body. So he has to weave his legs a little bit differently, and he does. So that grip is one thing that we've seen Ryan Hall do a lot. He even said he's been training with him a bit. So that grip is super important, and I think something that someone should start to look out for. It's a little bit more difficult for the person standing to be able to pull that knee free and get themselves out of that position.
Before we go, I actually wanted to ask this, though. I also love the feint that he was doing that set it up, because it seemed to kind of throw off Pete a little bit when he was setting it up. Almost looked like he was going to keep within that striking distance. So I thought that was pretty cool before he went into the Eminari. I thought, man, well done there, Chase.
It's a clean setup. And like you said, Ryan Hall does it a lot where he overcommits on that right hand, or the left hand in this case, because he was throwing from southpaw, which typically you don't want to do. But if you're trying to fall into an Eminari roll or fall into some sort of leg entanglement, to be able to like throw your body off and get to that position is honestly the best thing to do. So he did it really well.
Well done. All right, let's go to the second step that you want us to take attention to.
So in the top left image, this one was interesting. So like I said, based off that grip, your legs are going to end up in a different position. And here he has his right leg weaved behind the right leg of Barrett. And it's in a position of like a calf slicer, right? So if you notice in that top left image, that Chase's head is directly under Barrett. So he can go one of two directions. He can go out the back door, in which case that would open up the calf slicer and allow him to lock his hands around Barrett's hips and start to triangle his legs and put some hip pressure to try and finish that calf slicer. He made a good adjustment in pulling out the other way. So then his head came out the front side of Barrett's body. And just by the way he was making that entry, there was a lot of momentum carrying him that would normally pull their head towards the backside or towards the back end of that. But he was able to kind of pause in position, reframe, and readjust to get his head out, which put him in the 50-50 position that you see in the second image. And now one thing from that is just the position that they landed in. As soon as they hit the ground, he had the leg, but he didn't have full control yet. They kind of sat there for a bit, and Chase started throwing some shots to try and loosen the grips, and eventually worked himself into a position where he had better control over the knee. But it was interesting to see him sit in this position and to see Barrett kind of hold on to this a little bit longer than I personally think he should have.
Which I think is a good transition to going to that third step. So we'll go to that third detail right now.
This is where we have basically two angles of that same position. And this is sort of when they landed, right? So Chase hit that entry, they got to the ground, and you could see it better from that previous angle where his knee isn't fully in yet. So as soon as they land, you can see in the top left image that Barrett is holding Chase's wrist. He has wrist control 2-on-1 on Chase's left arm, but Barrett's right arm is underneath Chase's leg. So he's holding it in a really awkward position where he doesn't really have, the most control because his hand is kind of trapped in position. So if he lets go to try and readjust that, that's usually the opportunity that Chase can start to pull the leg in even deeper. But what I would do in this position would be, if he has 2-on-1, you've already established your grips. If I was in Barrett's position, I would try and maintain that control with the cross grip, which is Barrett's left hand, and then pull that right arm out and start to frame on Chase's left knee. And that would allow him to get his knee away from Chase's hips. And that would make him a little bit safer, easier for him to start to build a base with his opposite leg and then start to slowly free that leg out. And he could have done it in a manner that was, precautious and not get too anxious to get out and get caught. He could have taken his time with that, given that he had such a good grip on Chase's arm, but in my opinion, sat a little too long.
Understood, mine as well. And I want to give a big shout out. Pete is apparently family with us here at Verbal Tap. He is a friend of our dear friend, one Austin Stack, who was telling me how excited he was fighting. And I said, yo, I mean, Chase is kind of our boy too. So good luck to you. And once I saw this, I thought, how nice of you to give some suggestions on some defense. But that's not where we end here. We go on. We want to get towards that finish. So we go to detail number 4.
Yeah, which is interesting. Barrett had a lot of good defense throughout. I think, this was definitely the deepest entanglement that Chase had. But even, some attempts that he had were still pretty close. And Barrett showed a good know-how on the ground to kind of shut that down before we even got into this third round period. But now we're in a position where, when they landed in that 50-50 position, it was favoring Chase a little bit more because we were staying in that stagnant position of that 2-on-1 wrist control. So in order to break that, Chase takes his free arm, which in this case is his left arm, because you see he still has, in the left picture, he still has that 2-on-1 wrist, and starts to move Barrett's leg to the other side. He grabs the heel, starts to pull it across his body, which is really smart because if you can't break that grip, you're not going to be able to finish on that side. But the second you start to pull it towards that outside heel hook, now you have a wedge with your body and your lat and your elbow, and you can start to trap that leg a little bit easier. Versus on the other side, you need that free arm, or that one that Barrett's trapping with his 2 grips, and you need that free to be able to get your grip in place and to at least keep some pressure with your elbow on it. So Pete was doing a good job on that one. Bottom right image, you see they start to lean towards the side of Barrett's right leg, and that's where he wants to get to. In that first image, Chase is kind of flat on his back, and he's just trying to get into the position first to pass the leg over. Once he gets it across, he immediately starts to turn his body, and as you'll see in the next slide after this is that he has his legs entangled really well, so it makes it easier for him to get to Barrett's hip and start to tilt him towards that side for the finish. Super clean work.
I just want to point out something here. I mean, look, dude, I wish all of us had the ability to finish heel hooks by punching somebody in the face, but that's not the only thing that's really securing the finish here. We go to detail number 5 right now, the finish.
So this was the best part, right? He got to a good position, and you can see right here, he has his left elbow wedged really, really, really tightly around Barrett's leg, and he's keeping it trapped. He has his body leaning all the way over his foot, which is a great detail, but Barrett's still kind of sitting upright, so we want to get him towards his right hip and get him kind of pinned towards the mat. But again, in this position, his best option would be to try and build a base of some sort. But if you see in this next slide that Chase is doing a really good job with the way his legs are entangled to trap Barrett's far leg, which is his left leg. And you can see the way it's weaved underneath. Doesn't really have any options here. His option would be to try and pummel those legs out, but he's got 2 hooking that far side. So that's going to make it really, really challenging. He had a little bit of defense here that if we think he would have used a little bit better, which is that underhook. You see Barrett has his left arm underneath Chase's right leg, and you can kind of maybe use that to keep it in place as he starts to pummel his leg free. But it was just too strong when he had both of his legs weaved all the way through. He has his weight fully entangled on top of Barrett's legs here. At this point, it's tough, man. It's you're in a shootout at this point, and it's just who can draw faster. Chase was definitely faster on this one, and you can see right here, he gets the grip. Again, with his body just fully on it, there's nowhere for him to go. He has to free that opposite leg, but Chase is just doing way too good of a job preventing him from pummeling his leg through. So once he gets that grip, I mean, it's a straight shot from there and super clean finish. So he eliminated his escape, got a clean amount of pressure on top of that leg, got his grip in place, and ultimately the finish.
And there you have it. That is the finish. Now, I know, Frosto, you were asking me if we do a cheers. I don't have, you know what? I have like a LaCroix. It's not really my...
That counts. It's the same color. It's almost.
What are you drinking there, sir? What is that?
I'm drinking a Rack Focus Space Rex hazy IPA from Fremont. See, I think nowadays, just as with anything, I think people are starting, I buy beer for the label. I think that's what we do. We click on YouTube videos for the cover. I just buy beer for the label and hope it's good.
Well, here's some bad news, and I have to tell you this before we do the cheers and the toast to him, which is that he opted not to, now that he is 21, have a beer in place of chocolate M&Ms. So, here's what we're going to do. Since you're not drinking tonight, Chase, we're going to take one for you, bud. Here's a big toast to you. Congratulations on an excellent heel hook finish. Props to you. Props to Ryan Hall. We got mad love for you. Thanks for tuning in on this special episode of Detail with our good friend Mike Frosto. We'll see you guys a little bit later. Cheers.
Peace.
That was flat. But, you know.
Looked like it had been sitting there for a while.
And we are back. Hope you guys enjoyed that new segment. It is called The Details. Our good friend Michael Frosto breaking down Chase Hooper's epic heel hook finish. We are actually right in the middle of the action that is happening over on the UFC. It's been a very interesting round. Lots of counter strikes, lots of takedowns. We're already at a good point. It is only the first round. We are 4 minutes into it, so there's 1 minute left at this juncture. Pickett's been really trying to make up for some of this. Ooh, spinning back elbow by Chosky. How do you say his name? Chucky? I don't know. I'm going to call him Nick. I think that's the right way. It should be Chukwi. I think that's the way to say it. Anyway, thank you for joining us. My name is Raph Sparza. I host this show called The Grappling Hour. Glad you guys are here with us. Pickett going in with a few kicks that does not look like it is deterring any part of the man stalking him right now. So he's starting to back up a little bit more. He's got the tie. Oof. Eats a straight punch over to the chin. There's 15 seconds here left in this round, but a very solid round to begin the day. All right, so we are watching UFC Vegas 17. Let's go ahead and put on the little insignia that reminds you of that. Actually, I got to put on new ones because Dan left. So that Dan has left. We don't use that same one. We have a different branding. One that just doesn't have his name. That's as easy as we make it here for you folks. Cannot be happier that you guys are joining us. We have a huge night of fights still ahead of us. We have 9 more fights, I believe, after this one. But in the meantime, I will be taking your questions, comments, hints, concerns, allegations. We always give toast to those fighters that get finishes within regulation. However, if you are wondering, how can you, the normal citizen, the normal everyday outstanding human being, get a toast? The answer is very simple. All you have to do is give us a like and a share on Facebook or a subscription over on our YouTube page, and we will give you a toast on air, just like we do those fighters who get finishes within regulation. And today we are drinking, check this out. This is Two Coast Hefeweizen. This is coming to us, compliments our friends over at Blackbeard Crafts. Very appreciate them. It's based out of, look at this, LA, NYC, HH. It's letting you know it's bright, spicy, and sparkling. And I thought, what better way to start off the day? You want to start bright, because I had to start drinking at 1 p.m., which is not really when I truly choose to drink. We go into the second round right now. Again, our thanks over to our friends over at Blackbeard's Crafts Brewery. Again, the beer for today, right now, Two Coast Hefeweizen. Wabam. Whoop. Whoop. Boom. Back to the fights. 4:40 on my clock. Hopefully that's about where you guys are at right now. I see Grease Junkies Do It Yourself say Modelo time. Yeah, I mean, if Modelo sponsors me, bro, I'm all about that life. I have no issue with that. But we got to get them to give me some cash first, and then we can talk. Then it's going to be, maybe I can get those really cool Modelo commercials that talk about Rafa Esparza couldn't read until the age of 8, and yet, somehow, he defied the odds to become a moderately known host. Modelo, drink responsibly. Is that the right branding? Is that the right? I don't know. One thing I've been noticing, though, is Pickett does not want to get into a straight-up boxing match in this fight. You can see he's kind of trying to keep his distance here, and anytime he can try and work toward a takedown, he's trying to take it there, but you see his face turn a different color every single time he gets hit. It is pretty fun to watch. I would tell you, though, he was able to implement those takedowns at very key moments in that last round. We'll be able to see in this if he's able to neutralize a little bit more. Goes up with a kick, but looks immediately like he almost regrets doing that. Now, having to eat a knee to the stomach, it does not make him look like he is pretty happy at any juncture in this fight right now. But yes, he is bullying him straight up in this fight right now. Also want to say thank you guys to tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Y'all are fam. we're ending this year strong. Today we've got the last UFC fights, and then tomorrow we have a back-to-back double feature with Combat Jiu-Jitsu. The females will be approaching it on that one, and then we will also have Submission Underground 19. Can you believe there's been 19 of those? I feel like 20 of them have been during this pandemic, but only, I think, 7 or 8. But they have been very consistent. They were the first show to come back in the jiu-jitsu community. So we've been doing this on every single one of those. That nice hook there by Chuck Wee. Ugh. Does not look fun. Would not recommend to any of that. Let me go ahead and say it's right now still 2:20 left to go. But it just messaged me across from Aroma Cafe. Yeah, apparently the little, when you watch Home Alone, they get that pizza. It appears that California has decided to make a novelty version of that pizza from Home Alone. It is located out here in Studio City. And yes, there was a giant line for it, just in case you were wondering. But one of my friends just happens to count himself as being the biggest Home Alone fan. And I had to address him and let him know properly. Chuck Wee was definitely going for a knockout there with a loaded overhand right. Does not connect. Pickett's still trying to find his angles on the inside here. Gets him with a good 1-2-3, but does not really seem to be staggering Chuck Wee with any of the strikes. Chuck Wee coming in with a nice knee to the stomach. Ugh. But he does stuff the takedown and presses him back on over to the cage. This is not exactly the strategy you can tell that Pickett really wanted to embrace here. This has been an unfortunate set. Anyway, yeah, Pickett is now starting to just run across this cage. Just now feeling every one of those hits. You can tell he does not want to be any part of this. He is sliding away and trying to slip out, and I am there with him, man. I hope. Ooh, nice combo here. He is connecting on Chuck Wee. Chuck Wee is now starting to back up. He absorbed a handful of those strikes. Pickett just threw up a kick, didn't connect, but I think he wants to see what the distance is here. Maybe he might have something there. Chuck Wee's going to probably push him back on over to the cage in just a second here. 10 seconds left to go in the second round, and it looks like we're going to be dropping off things very quickly. 2, 1. The referee's trying to tell him, like, hey, I don't know if he's mentioning, like, you want to hit the head here, or if he's telling him, like, hey, man, I have a headache. Do you have any remedies for this? Pickett crushing it thus far in. All right, fam. We're having a good day. Hopefully you are as well. All right. Tomorrow, again, we will be returning for Submission Underground. Very pleased. I saw one of our good friends. Unfortunately, Andrew Alexander will not be taking part in that one. However, some good news is that Andy Varela, is taking his place, and he's going to be taking on Chris Lenconi. I am saying names wonderfully right now, by the way. I wonder if it has anything to do with this delicious beer. Anyway, but yes, Chris Lencioni is fighting tomorrow. He'll be taking on our pal Andy Varela. Very excited for that match. So that's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you will be watching along with us. If not, I'm not going to judge you. I'm just going to say you're not a true fan of combat sports. I think that's the easiest way to put it. And tomorrow we will also have a panel joining us throughout the day. So make sure y'all take the time. We start at noon tomorrow. I know. That is going to be a loaded time. So it's noon, and then we adjourn, I think, probably at about 3 p.m. We're just waiting to find out how the timing is going to go on all the way through for this one. So just so that you guys are made aware of how it all rolls, that is how we are getting down tomorrow. All right, we're going into the third and final round. I want to give a nice shout out to our good friend Adam Woods. Adam Woods gave us a toast. by sharing this. So we're going to give him a cheers by saying, this one goes on out to you, sir. Not only do we wish you the happiest of holidays, but we encourage and thank you for giving us one of the best films of all time for Christmas, Die Hard. Thank you for writing that script. Also, everybody watching this, don't go fact check that. Cheers to you, Adam Woods. Of course, if you guys comment during the show, we can integrate your comments into the show. It helps to make it a little bit brighter, a little bit better, a little bit more enjoyable. So we always look out for those things, and we will be going live on Instagram in just a few moments. We want to give it a little bit of time to, I think, my earbuds, which I think are recharging at this point. It says it's charged. Let's see what they do. Yep, so far so good. It says it's at 100%. Weird. I was going to wear those for my interview with Dan, but apparently they told me they were not working. We are seeing Chuck Wee. Ooh, he is trying to get a finish on Pickett this entire time. Pickett has been just absorbing shots. I am concerned for him on this fight, but we are still 3 minutes, 40 seconds away from seeing a victor announced. Eek. I'm going to go ahead and assign this to my iPad so that way we can bring some more folks on this brand. And then we take a little break at 4 p.m. We take a moment. We then reset the clock so that people can come join us for the final series of fights here today. So that's what I got for y'all. It is going to be a jam-packed day filled with tons and tons of fight stuff. Like this, integrated comments. You don't say. Yeah, I mean, listen, dude, we pride ourselves on being the show that can integrate comments in the best form. Mostly because we can clown on those people who try to make jokes. I don't really see too many people who do that well. I think we do it pretty okay. Nice little exchange. They get down for just a split second, but they're able to quickly reverse that position. Chuck Wee still being a beast, man. I have to give it to him. He has been putting on this relentless pressure to the point where I have not seen, I don't want to say that Pickett is mentally broke throughout this fight, but he has definitely given some signals as if to say, can we be, ooh, that knee did not look good. This is getting close. I think we could be heading toward a finish in just a few seconds here. He is covering up. There's 220. The referee is maybe dicing around getting in there, but Chuck Wee, I don't think he wants to go for a submission here. I think he wants to finish. He has to watch where his hands are getting placed. Pickett is still defending some of these, if just briefly. He is trying to get up and stand upright, but he is not able to do it at this juncture. He finds an angle to maybe get a base, but you now see Chuck Wee is continuously dragging him down. He lets go of the body lock to start putting in some more strikes here, and then drags him back down even some further distance away from the cage. Now he's going to go to the front section, go to a front headlock. I think this is actually a worse decision for him because Pickett was almost able to go in on that single leg. He's continuing to climb all the way back up. And, mostly you would see almost like a guillotine choke attempt here in most variations or iterations of this sort of approach. But that is not what we are seeing here at this moment. We are seeing Chuck Wee's just almost give up and concede him standing up, and Pickett gets back to his feet. Lord, that is impressive, my friends. So we will end with 1 minute, 5 seconds left on the clock. Still to go with these both contenders still finding their range, still looking to get the knockout here, and Chuck Wee is going to get the opportunity to just continue to stalk him down. This is intense. All right, last few seconds. Again, love you guys. Send us some more comments. That way we can clown on y'all. We can continue to say funny jokes at y'all's experience and expense. Woo. Body strikes are at a 31-7 advantage for Chuck Wee. And you're going to see some maybe shoulder strikes here in a second because I think Pickett is just spinning back elbow. It does not land, but it looks nice. Good Lord. Nope. Last. It goes the distance. What a great day. All right, let us go ahead and put it on the Instagram. We're going to have people joining us there. We're going to go live on that for the next 3 fights, take a break, come back, do it all over again for the main event. It is nice that we are finishing the year with a fun card. As a reminder, we had Dan Hubler come on a little bit earlier who told you some of his betting picks. Those will kick in with Perea versus Williams, then Font, Vera, and Thompson. So he was trying to give you the intel as to what you guys should put your money on. Each of those bets he suggested at a $5 sort of incremental level right now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make sure that my headphones are charged onto this. And then we are going to get ready to go, kids. I'm very excited about this. They're connected. What? So you're also going to see me cut a quick promo as to show people that they are on Instagram. They should join us. Here's how it does. I'm going to do it in one take. That's how you know a true professional here. Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster. We are going live for the entire duration of tonight's fights. So that means join us right now. Throw us your questions, comments, concerns, hints, allegations, all of that good stuff. And join us. Yeah, we're going to be on Instagram. See you. Look at that. See? Even proved it. Sounds just fine. We are adding this on. That goes to share. And yeah, we'll send that on over to Facebook too. Why the fuck not, you know? That's the kind of popsicle stand that we're running here. All right, here we go. Going to the live. I believe Chuck, we should be getting the decision win on that one. I don't see how it would be otherwise, but you know, stranger things have happened, especially when we see the makings of somebody not giving Christos all 3 rounds. So I usually like to tell people that as a nice little hint, a setup to the later things that we may be seeing, because it might be a good way of us knowing, oh, so that's how the judges are going to play with us tonight. So UFC Vegas 17 prelims. Add title. And here we go, fam. Now let's see if the Instagram people beat you guys on the comments. We'll have to see. Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Ravis Barza. We are coming to you live right now. We are watching UFC Vegas 17. These are the prelims. We are so stoked. We've already seen some great things. We've seen a flying triangle from friend of the show, Jimmy Flick, and we've also seen one of our best friends, one Christos Yagos, getting in a huge win here tonight on 3 days' notice. That motherfucker came in as the underdog and is proving that you don't forget Christos. You need to give him more fights than just one every 500 days. That'd be nice. But yes, it does seem nice that Chukwi was able to pick up a quite impressive win. Teflon the Dawn, one might say, picking up a 30-25, 30-26, and a 30-26 on the scorecards. You know, it is interesting to see how that goes, though. Especially when you see 30-26 Pickett. Amazing. That's a great joke, though. Appreciate that from our good friend, 1G Baby, chiming in. All right. Everybody, if you are joining us right now, feel free to send us comments, concerns, all of that. Let me look at this. I like this. It says, you're a huge win, Raf. Look, guys, don't break my heart before the new year. I don't have the strength to be broken by such amazing comments like that. It's a good time to remind you guys, if you give us a like and a share on Facebook, we will give you a toast on air. And if you give us a subscription on YouTube, I will also do a cheers, just like we did for Jimmy Flick, who we are hoping to land on the show sooner than later. But you never know how things go. So just as a reminder to y'all and to you guys on Instagram, if you guys don't mind giving us the hearts, those things matter to us just as much, I think. Honestly, I don't know. I think it's just all good. We'll take any kind of thing that you guys want to do that gives us more looks, more views, more love, is I guess what we're saying here. So we already did one toast to our pal, one Senor Adam Woods. I'm going to just double check to make sure we have not missed out on anybody else doing stuff. What is up? Look at this. I just see G Baby giving us a nice little share there. I'm going to give this one to Gabe as well. Gabe, I saw you give us a like. Thank you, bro. Appreciate y'all. I see Don Stoner came in with a like, and Jordan Jitsu gave us a like a little bit earlier. Love y'all. Y'all are fam. And Vern Houston, do we know each other? I know that you know Emil Fisher, but that tells me absolutely nothing. Either way, I appreciate you for giving us a like. Here's what we do. A huge heart to our good friend, 1G Baby. Giancarlo, little fun fact about him. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the comic Dilbert, but in Puerto Rico, he made the Puerto Rican version of Dilbert. And in that one, it's actually not in a workplace setting. It is at a taco stand. The translation, though, beautiful. Some people say that The Office here in the United States is better than that in the UK. I think that with the Puerto Rican Dilbert. Cheers to you. What is up, Abode? What is up, Alma? Thank you guys for joining us right now. We are just getting started on our night's coverage of UFC Vegas. We got Jillian Robertson, who's coming in with Jose Shorty Torres in her corner, versus Talia Santos, which should be a very fun match to watch. So grab a beer, pull up a little bit of a chair, hang out with us tonight. It is our final UFC card of the year. However, not our final broadcast. We still have another fight companion that is happening tomorrow. That's right. The fight companion is happening tomorrow. It is a back-to-back. So we are loaded here on the show. It is back-to-back with what? We've got, let me see if I remember this correctly. It is Combat Jiu-Jitsu starting at noon, Best Coast time. And then we have Submission Underground 19 at 3 p.m. Best Coast time. Please mark your calendars. Please remember to join us. And I see us, Abode says, big Brazilian night. Let's hope. You know, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I have to root for the Brazilians. But I'm not going to tell you not to. I'm just going to say, I hope they give me good fights. That's what I'm trying to tell you here. Of course, we've already discussed this for people who were here a little bit earlier, but I will go ahead and recap this. Tonight's beer of choice comes to us from our friends over at Blackbeard Craft Brewing. And look at this. It says Two Coast Hefeweizen. So the Two Coast Hefeweizen has been treating us nice. It is at a 5.1 alcoholic beverage content level. You know, I gotta say, it tastes exactly like it should, straight out of the bottle. I've been enjoying it. It is a nice way to go ahead and get off to a breezy start. You don't want to start too heavy, because we're going to be on here for, 4 or 5 more hours? You don't want things to get a little too hectic to begin with. So, that is how we are beginning our day. We are midway through, I believe, the... Let me just double check this. I don't want to say it out of turn. So UFC Vegas 17. Oh, I think we're halfway through the prelims. Let's just double check here. Yep. We are going to be at the halfway. And it says Jillian Robertson, Talia Santos will be, actually it is the halfway point. They just broke it up stupidly. The main card on ESPN Plus is only 5 fights, but the prelims are 7. Normally, you'd just say, why don't we cut in half and split the difference at 6 and 6? But they don't do that because dumb. So, that's what we're working with here, fams. If you guys give us questions, comments, we put them into the show. We love it when you guys talk to us as the show is happening. Earlier, we showed you not only our betting preview with our good friend Dan Hubler, but we also showed a recap or a re-airing of our brand new segment, The Details with Michael Frosto. If you haven't checked that out, you can find it on the Grappling Hour YouTube page. You can find it on, I think it's just our YouTube page. Is that the only place I put it? Oh, it's on our Instagram. Yeah, it's on our Instagram. Yeah, that's what it is. I was like, shit, I don't remember. So that's what I got for you guys here today. So excited you guys are joining us. We're very much rooting for Jillian Robertson on this one. She has the most finishes within flyweight history, so that is pretty dope. However, she does have one game opponent in Talia Santos, who has 11 first-round finishes, and if you're a Bode, you're definitely hoping for a win there. Iago is definitely showing up here today, asking for things to go well for the Brazilian. I hate to go against you on this one, but we got to go for Robertson. I'm just saying, shake your hand right here. Good game to you, sir. We'll have to see how it goes. Tayo Santos, though, with a 5-inch reach advantage. So we'll see how that works out for all parties involved. And it says, are you watching the fights live or watching live streamed results? Cool cat fight coming up right now. Robert, I am watching it live to the live. I might be exactly on time with you or maybe just a few seconds ahead or behind of you. But yes, we are watching it Live. Abode or Yago says, Robertson is a killer. So keep in mind, y'all, we have a fun series of nights. I think you're right in saying she's a killer, but yes, Robert, watch along with us. We do a fight companion analysis show, and I'm more than happy to, drop you some play-by-play or give you any questions that you might have. And if you're watching along, then grab a beer and toast along with us. We give cheers and toasts to all of those who get finishes within regulation. What is up, Bobby? I got your text. I obviously am doing this now, but I will text you my information a little bit later. And it says 16-1 Santos. Didn't expect that. Interesting. We'll have to see how that plays out then. Cheers indeed, Bobby. Appreciate you, bro. So let's see. Perhaps you are ahead of me and you know something that's going on, but we're going to have to see here in a second how this plays out from my viewing right now. Robertson is able to stuff a takedown, has a front headlock here. Looks like she kind of wants to weigh her down, is not being able to do it. Says, just doing my usual, log on when I see you go live. Appreciate you, bro. That's the real big thing for me. I love it when you guys show us. Is it on ESPN? I believe today's events are on ESPN Plus. Robertson in on an armbar right now. She has a good setup here. The leg is over, so she has her leg over the head. Now she just really has to start working to get the release of that arm here. It's possible. You're going to see Santos maybe try to stack her a little bit, see if she can get a little bit of her arm back. But this is a tough pull. And she does get out of it. Now, Jillian working from inside a guard, throws a couple elbows, is putting the feet on the hips, and this is really good cage positioning for her, though. You are seeing Jillian start to see if maybe she can get that armbar set up back again. She does miss the timing only just barely. You could see her scooping underneath the leg as if to maybe try to off-balance her, see if she could go back to the armbar yet once more. But instead, she is put up against some pressure on the cage. You're seeing Santos put up a little bit of really nice head positioning underneath the chin, blocking the range of movement here, and making sure that Robertson has a very, very limited moveset that she can do from this particular position. So we are waiting to see how this continues to play out for her, but she is making the action a little more stuffed in this position. Let me see what here it says. Robertson's guard is as intense as her hair color. I would agree. I would tell you, though, that this is an interesting position because when you do get put against the cage like this, most people don't know what to do, and she's still looking very composed in this moment. Freedom Grappling Invitational, glad to see you guys. Hope you're having a great day. I am. I have a beer in hand. I'm watching fights. It's my happy place. This is where I'm good. Yeah, her hair is intense. Absolutely, dude. I think the only thing that's nice about having hair is somebody who does not really mess with hair. My head is too awkward to really fuck with different color hair. Is that that particular hair does make it look like if you have it, maybe they can't tell if you're bleeding or anything. It gets a little fuzzy to see. So I know that Israel Adesanya actually was talking about why he colors his hair so much. And he was saying that it kind of makes it a little bit weird visually to see. Like sometimes it makes a flash. And I said, sounds good to me. I don't know. I don't hit people, so I don't really do that sort of a thing. And it says, so to a noob by me, who is winning this round? Well, you got to go from the very beginning, which is that Jillian was able to initiate a little bit more of the aggressiveness. And what I would tell you, though, is even though Santos is on top, she maybe isn't striking or hitting as much as possible. So there's a number of different factors that come into this decision making. But I would say that because Jillian was also starting at least 1, 2, 3 submission attempts, you could potentially score the round for her. Here's some good news for you, though. Some of the people who score these things are also somehow stupid. It comes with the territory. It's like when you watch a boxing match and you say, how did that fight card happen? How did this score happen? That's how. G-Baby says, you can pull off bleached hair. Now, see, G-Baby, I know that your favorite person is Bad Bunny. I am no Bad Bunny. I guarantee you, if you see me with bleached hair, people would think something is unhealthy with me. I think they would send a lot of cards or text messages out of deep concern as to what is happening to my face. So, sure. What is up, El Matubanes? Good to see you. I see a Bode saying nice pass here. It does look, though, that we are still within the guard. So Robertson has been doing an excellent job of maintaining her guard. And yeah, Santos is getting a little bit more aggressive here. So yeah, that's where things maybe get a little more dicey. You might have some judges. There are some who just prefer striking over grappling. They're weirdos. It's what happens. And yeah, sometimes they'll see one elbow strike like that and go, she won the round. So just something to keep in mind. It says a very active round. Absolutely. So we'll see how that one gets scored. I'm going to take a quick look over on the Twitter sphere to see if there are any reactions that maybe they had that might help contextualize what we are seeing here. But yes, MMA Fighting is saying Santos on heavy striking from top, patiently looking for ground and pound. Robertson with elbows from the bottom. That's a great way of summarizing that one, in my honest opinion. So it says here, great grappling match so far. Yes, we'll have to see it. You know, it's a game of inches. People don't know this for Brazilians, but they just are born good grapplers. That's just what happens. If you can't grapple, and you're Brazilian, they do send you to an orphanage. That's just fact. Please don't fact check it. Thank you for the laughing. I see Figueroa is the Bad Bunny of MMA. He absolutely is. I would 100% agree with that one. I would 100% have to say Bad Bunny. Look, we'll put up a photo a little bit later of the drip of Davison Figueroa because it is that guy. He's like the best mix of casual there, not caring too much, and trying too hard, and it somehow all blends together into swag. So, amazing for him. Robert says, these fighters are so hot, I don't mind watching a full round of Missionary. Robert, I'm going to ask you, man, are you okay? Are you calling some hotlines? Do you have somebody who's going to be around you this holiday season? I ask because we want to check in on everybody, okay? Be safe, but also, you know, call somebody if you need to. 4 minutes left in the second round on my watch right now, and we are seeing, I'm looking over, Robertson keeps signaling for this armbar consistently. You could see that she just tries to make inches on it. And she does have a good grip. I think Robertson might actually be pretty good at EBI overtime if she had the back. And it says, Tails taken this round. I think you're talking about Talia. So, sure. Unless you are referring to Sonic the Hedgehog's partner, Tails. Thank you, Talia. I figured that might be the way that you were trying to phrase it. It just came out a little weird. G-Baby says, just don't call me Rob. Well, you know, he wasn't before, but look at this. Nobody was expecting that triangle to happen from the side, but yet here we are. This is going to be a huge opportunity if you do see Robertson get out of it, and you're seeing Santos trying to hold on for dear life. Robertson is bleeding while inside of a triangle. The arm is in a very particular position, so she really just has to keep the pressure down, and yes, Robertson is able to sneak out of it. Now is going to be able to act from on top and start putting on the pressure. She's almost immediately put into a half guard position. Excellent awareness by Santos. Yes, the reverse triangle right there, right then, looked pretty good, but the hardest part about the reverse triangle from underneath is you give that up too much and you yourself are allowing the person to start to pass and right back at it, almost trying to get like this crucifix control, but yet still working on a Kimura trap here. She cannot pull her all the way over. This is going to be a tough armbar to pull off, and you do see Santos taking advantage of the situation and starting to bring in down some elbows in those positions. And it says, are you covering 3CG tonight as well, Raph? Maybe. We'll see. The fact that this started at 1 p.m. is problematic to me. I don't know if you guys know what this does to me, but there's a lot of this that happens, and I try to sound like a competent person all the way through. Now, I also purchased beverages that are in the 8 to 9% alcohol content volume area. I don't know that host should be on for that long. But we'll see. Remains to be seen. I have a lot of people who are fighting tonight, and I'm very interested to see how they go. Especially, look at this. You got the Tackett brothers both essentially headlining that card for 3CG. Andrew Tackett taking on a no time limit match against Damian Anderson, who that match should be fire. Those are two young and up-and-comers who have energy for days. You've also got Johnny Tama on that card, and Najmi on that card. Like, there are a lot of really good matches. And it says, Raph, Brisa asked if women rolling around like this turns men on. Well, clearly from our conversation earlier from Robert, it can. Here's the good news that I want to tell you. When we do this sort of stuff, when you do grappling, most people are trying to harm you so much you don't even really think about it. So that when people are like, I bet you guys probably get boners all the time. No, not really. No. Every once in a while, you'll hear somebody say, like a female grappler say, this dude is so gross, I hate rolling with him. And guess what happens? Nobody rolls with them anymore. So, what's up, John? No, I mean, we're a pretty good community. I won't want to say we have a perfect record because there are some sleaze bags, and we try to oust them as quickly as possible. Most of us do. Some people actually defend them. Not the answer she was looking for. I don't know. I mean, that's the answer. I don't think so. There still might be a subset of people who get highly turned on by this sort of a thing. You know, it just depends. There are definitely hot fighters, though. There are definitely some hot female fighters that you kind of look at and you go, damn, I don't want to see them get hurt. Thank you for reminding me. And it says, and Ruben Rivera versus Jordan Holy. That is a fantastic match. And I saw a shout out to Because Jitsu. Was Drew here? Drew, where are you? Talk to us. Let me see here. Also, hate the Creonchas, Raph. Sure. Yeah, listen. Our community is full of dummies. So, you know, every time we think that we're so enlightened and that we're so amazing, there's always like somebody that turns up that just goes, yeah, they were totally abusing their students. Never liked them. Knew it. Knew they were the kind. It's like, ugh. Santos looks kind of hot. Yeah, I can see that, man. I'm into that sort of a thing. I would tell you, though, they're definitely hotter. So I just want to give you that. Oh, it's because of the reverse Kimura grip. I was about to say, if Drew came in and didn't say hello, he and I are having words a little bit later. Yoga community has its dummies, too. Yeah. I think everybody has their dummies. It's the assumption that here in martial arts, though, that because we're a noble and only fight when necessary kind of group that preaches it. Ooh, good feint there. Santos went in for a takedown, didn't get it, and then immediately found her way on top and started to work in this front headlock, which has turned into a guillotine. I'd love to see her maybe close this guard up a little bit more so that she could put that pressure on, but Santos doing a pretty good job of tripoding her way out of that guillotine. That looked really interesting. And it says, Robertson needs a finish, in my opinion. I would agree with that. I think Robertson's probably going to be behind, considering how much top time that Santos has had here. So, unfortunately, looking at a boat over here, trying to ruin things for Americans, even though this is an American broadcast. Here on this American broadcast, we root for Americans, okay? All right, Santos back in the guard, starting to try and bring in some punches on in. She's actually doing a really good job of keeping her knees kind of pressing up Robertson's guard so that she just has very little mobility to her hips. And it says Santos' guard passing abilities are freaking awesome. I mean, they're better than mine, I'll put it that way. My guard passing is pretty for shit. Most people who roll with me would agree with that. I would like to see maybe Robertson change it up on some of them. She's Canadian. Yeah, she's Canadian, but we're rooting for the person closest to America Jr. Jesus. Plus, she has Americans in her corner. Yeah, eh? It says, damn, Santos is good. Absolutely, man. She's been putting it on her this whole time. So we'll have to see. Ooh, the mouth covering. That's my least favorite. One of my good friends does that shit. And I literally beat the fuck out of him every time he does that. I'm always nice with rolling with people. But the minute they start to cover your mouth when you're rolling with them, dead to me. What's up, Bryce? I think Bryce has tried that too, if I'm being honest. But that's what we got. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in this fight. And it says, there hasn't been a dull fight in this card yet. Well, don't ruin it for us. We're just trying to, you know, keep things okay here. Don't put a spook or don't put something out into the ether that says, let's have a bad one. Not yet, but now it's coming. I swear to God, Bryce. I think you know I'll heel hook you in a second. That's not even an issue. I have no problems doing that to you. Yeah, the significant strike differentium, not great. Mouth covering is a fun way to piss off your coaches. It really is. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you this, man, but it comes from people who also fight for MMA a lot of the times. So I have a good laugh at their expense. Woo! That armbar's looking a lot better now. This is a potential finishing right now. Ooh. I know she's been signaling it throughout the entire fight. Finishing an armbar in this position is very difficult to do. You're going to see Santos try to rip that leg around. She does that. Now she's going to try and retrieve the arm. This is still very promising for Santos. It doesn't mean she's out of the clear just yet, but she needs to make a transition, and she is in a good position to make that work. It says, what are we watching? Right now, we are watching UFC Vegas 17. So these are the prelims to the Wonderboy Thompson. And I mean, honestly, given where Santos is right now, that's knee bar central for a number of people that I roll with. And it says, this armbar. Absolutely. That was a great attempt right now. What's up, Spiraling Void? That's a great name, by the way. It says, I would have tapped before the move was in. Yeah, dude, armbars are no joke. We definitely, these elbows are also no joke. I don't like seeing them like that. Eek. Great seatbelt grip over here by Santos, who's going to maybe try and finish the round out by getting the back and taking control from there. And it says world-class grappling right there. And it says, I would have tapped if she blinked. Absolutely. And that means they are going to go to the end of this fight in regulation. That is not going to be enough time to get a tap. And you just see for a split second, you can see Robertson maybe seeing the promise of coming up on top, but the end of the round was marked there. Fun fight for everybody. Tayo Santos is probably going to pick up your win. She looked really, really in control and really fun to watch. Good for her. What the fuck is this commercial even for? A dude comes out with a bow and arrow and shoots it up. That's a Versace commercial? The fuck's that? Damn, what a fight. Ref, who does guy need to know to get in on combat jiu-jitsu? Asking for a friend. Well, first and foremost, you probably got to be like a black belt. How'd you score that one? at least 2 rounds Santos. The second and third. The first round's a little dicey, so I wouldn't be surprised if you see a 30-27 in her favor, but you will definitely see a majority decision going Santos' way. It says, well, first Brazilian of the... Don't do that. Nobody asked for that abode. Don't gloat. Nobody likes a winner like that. It says right here, she's got those Ferguson elbows. R.I.P. What's up, Garcia? Oh, man, Dustin Poirier. Do you know that he is a fucking spice? Like, that dude actually has a hot sauce that he's selling now. I get an email from the people over at Hot Ones, and it says, hey, as a FYI, just so you know, here is Dustin Poirier's hot sauce. And I said, why the fuck are they mixing 2 of my favorite things in the world now? I'm not even a true hot sauce junkie, but the fact that you got Dustin Poirier getting in on this tells me, man, make your money, dude, where you need to. Sorry, I'm keeping an eye on my fucking dog. I don't know what she's up to. Lucy. She looked like she was going to do something bad. But yeah, Bryce, I would tell you this, man. I think you just got to stay consistent. I've seen people as early as purple belt compete at EBI and combat jiu-jitsu. You just got to keep doing at it. And yes, Santos does get the win. And here, ooh, those are interesting scores. Santos won 30-26 and 29-28. I don't know about those. All right, Bobby. Keep it up. Talk to you later, buddy. But yeah, Bryce, what I would say to you is it says Derek Lewis should have a hot sauce. Now, see, that is the right approach here, Robert. I think that is the right way to look at it. What's up, Thor? Look at you, bro. Good to see you, man. Hope you've been good. I was just seeing some old LA Jiu-Jitsu Club photos, and I was like, you know who I haven't seen in a while? Thor. And even if I have seen Thor, we have an interview that is lost to the ages now because, you know, the world ended. But I was like, you know, it's been a long time since I've gotten to roll with Thor. We'll have to take care of that. Garcia Grip. Hot as balls hot sauce. I don't know how that one's going to sell, but it actually might go over huge with the hot sauce community, which I'm finding more and more things about as somebody who is a admitted novice as a hot sauce junkie. I just like the show Hot Ones. I think it's a fantastic concept. And I think that the kid, Sean Evans, I think he does a great job. Miss you, sexy. I miss you more, my friend. Look at that. We'll have to make sure to get up for lost time and get some rolling in sooner than later, sir. Would love that. All right, so we now are beyond the halfway point of the prelims. Just in case you were wondering, tonight's night is stacked with fights. You got the UFC. Glory was on a little bit earlier. I think it finished. Then boxing tonight. So all of those things, plus Third Coast Grappling, Edwin Najmi, going to be fighting out there. We've got so many great people, and I think... is it Najmi? I forget who he was taking on, but I think there's somebody who's taking on a Cody Steele, and if it's Cody Steele and Najmi, I think that's the fight to make. I might be wrong. Let me look over at that Third Coast Grappling. Well, let me see here. The fights are as such here at Third Coast. Look at that. Yes. War Edwin. It says, yeah, William Tackett, Philippe Andrew, Thiago Mikado versus Johnny Tama, Edwin Najmi versus Cody Steele. That is a great match, man. Cody Steele is fire, man, and when I heard that Edwin was stepping in to replace, I thought I kind of like that match better, if I'm being honest. Johnny Combs versus Pedro Marinho. Sorry, apologize on that one. Andrew Tackett, Damian Anderson. That is a sub-only no time limit match. Jordan Holy versus Ruben Rivera. And then other people. Wow, yeah, that's a fucking great card. Justin Renek is also on that against our pal, Robert Enzel. What a night. Yeah, So we're definitely warring all of our friends doing great things here. Just as a reminder, if you guys give us a like and a share on Facebook, we give you a toast on air. Those are the rules. Just like we do those fighters who get finishes within regulation. Now, in that fight, there was no finish, but it was a pretty good fight. So I will give them my respect, just not my toast. Well, Johnny Tama, I was just talking about you, bro. I'm so stoked that you're fighting tonight on the Third Coast Grappling card. I was going to say I'm not going to tune in, but now you showed up here. So I feel like maybe I have to? I don't have to. But if I do, no, it is due in great part to probably somebody like you being there. So we got a lot of people who are showing up on this. Love you guys. Appreciate you. We're going to be here all night for at least the UFC. We might tune in for a little bit of the Third Coast Grappling. We love those folks over there. Ryan and Zach always do good stuff. It says, looking forward to putting on a great performance. Hey, man, that's a hot fire match, dude. I'm all about you doing that. Sure as shit. And that way we can also say, if you haven't seen my interview with Johnny Tama, I would encourage you to go to our Grappling Hour page. Go check it out. Very interesting backstory. Great to know a lot more about that man. Very, very cool interview. So go check that out. You can do it after you watch us here or after you watch his match tonight. Whatever is most convenient to you guys. So let's continue. We are now going to a catchweight bout between Duran, Nguyen, and Antonio Arroyo. So, on this one, you've got Antonio Arroyo, who's a 6'3 versus 5'6, and 73-inch reach versus 70. Antonio Arroyo is also a Brazilian abode. I see you, fam. Just coming in here, trying to incite riots against all these Americans who just want to have a good American show. Instead, bringing in your Brazilian biases and telling us who to go for. That's not what I know here in America. I know one thing, which is this is a free country, and I'm going to go for who I want. Thank you, abode. But it is pretty impressive, and that's a very large reach to overcome, if we're being honest. Got to cheer for my boys. Yeah, do what you got to do. Duran Nguyen, dude. Fighting out of Gilroy, California. He is the plus 155 underdog here. Eek. We'll see how this one plays out. Makes me feel like I gotta start this segment with, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. Is that how that one goes? I feel like I could just make up things and just talk about eagles, and I might actually write the song. According to Wood says, is Nguyen the only alumni from the Golden Boy MMA show now in the UFC? Yeah, because most of them were on their way out. Oof. Good kick by Arroyo, though. This does not look like a fun or fair fight, abode. Let's be very clear about this right now. I don't love what the odds are. I think what you have to do, this is a catchweight 195 bout. Dude, Nguyen is working on a takedown here. What is up? M Hanger 84. Nope, nothing happening there on the takedown just yet. I'm going to have to look at who is there. Nguyen does get the takedown. Good on him. Let us see what he is able to do there. He is essentially neutralized him a little bit right there. And it says, hashtag fathersplain, LOA, aka style. Father's plan. I see you. Or is it father's splain? Father's plan. Aka style. Yeah, I get you, bro. What is up, Devon? Woosun? Gonna go. He gets that takedown almost. Yep. Says, dude has a Nike logo tattoo. Listen, dude, I don't have a tattoo to begin with, so I'm not one that can really comment on other people's tattoos and whatnot. But, if you pay me enough, maybe I'll do it. I'm just saying. Also, good time to remind you guys, now that we're talking about merch, look at this. Look what just happened just in time for Xmas. That's right. We're talking Grappling Hour merch, motherfuckers. Check us out. I'll put that on the Grappling Hour page a little bit later, but that shit just came in today. So you want to be cool, you want to support the show, go get one of those. But yes, he's doing an incredible job of keeping the pressure on him right now. What's up, Christopher James Velez? Appreciate you, bro. As a reminder, give us a like and a share, and we will give you a toast on air. And look at that. Arroyo, for a split second, looked at the greener pastures of a Kimura from underneath and does not get there. And it says, Nguyen looks like a bigger G-baby. Yeah, I mean, it does look like, you know, in the cartoons when you get the tire pump, it looks like we put in the valve into G-Baby and just... Now get in there and fight, G-Baby. Oof. Arroyo's starting to work very, very well from inside of his guard, grabbing the wrist. You can see him already starting to set up a triangle here, and it makes me a little bit so concerned for Nguyen and how it's working for him. G-Baby approves and says LMAO. Eek! No, it's a triangle and it looks... Ooh, he had that shit, man. He really did, and then he just fucked up and just the transition out of it. And now Arroyo, not happy, finding a few shots on that chin right now, and it says 194 LB, here I come. What is up, Blake? It says, Seton actually not letting the size difference affect him at all. No, man, I mean, listen, dude, the dude can take a shot. Eee. Not my favorite thing in the world to just eat shots, but I think that's what you got to do in order to get that takedown. If you're giving up that much on the reach, and you know that you really essentially have to commit to literally rollerballing your way into it. It says, did? Is that a full sentence? What happened? 56 seconds left in the first round here, fam. Gets the takedown. But Arroyo is still on top. He's weaving the arm on the inside. And Nguyen is not really conceding on the grip on that leg. It says Duran. Thank you. For a split second, I thought you were talking about Stefan, the character that Bill Hader plays on SNL. You know, it's that thing when you put two midgets together and have them ultimate fight. It says, sorry, my bad. No big deal. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't neglecting you. Thank you very much for chiming in. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome along. We're watching UFC Vegas 17. My name is Rafa Esparza. I host a show called The Grappling Hour. That's it. What is up, Rosa16? Thank you for joining us right now. Appreciate y'all. And Arroyo is ahead on the strikes, but these takedowns may be problematic in the first round for him to pull off the win. We'll have to see what's going on right now. And it says, dude, Arroyo is doing amazing in the fight. Yes, he is. But I want to give credit to the little guy, man. Look at that. If you're able to take that man down a few times, that's pretty impressive. So, Duran Nguyen, appreciating that. It's nice to see Chris Weidman giving some love to Wonder Boy. It says, excited to see the nice motherfucker retain his title. Make sure to watch it. Like, all these guys are plugging ESPN Plus. That's amazing to see. I think they're doing just okay. It's like, imagine Dana White texting out all the fighters and be like, you guys better fucking mention watching on fucking ESPN Plus, or you're going to be minused off the fucking UFC roster. It's a good joke. I'm going to keep that one. All right, we got some more shares right now. It says, all about the little guy here. Ah. Now I can see that dude. That dude is earning his respect. I just want to say he's definitely earning my respect. I want to give a nice cheers on out. As a reminder, if you guys give us a like and a share over on Facebook, we give it a toast on air. And it says, Nguyen looks as mean. Nguyen looks like a mean ass gummy bear. Yo, if they gave him some gummy bear juice and he tests positive, I think USADA might be in a weird predicament. You see Arroyo already starting to close up the guard here. Maybe he's going to start inching up the guard a little bit more, but he opens it up almost as an invitation to win, to maybe try and break through. Yes, he's going to go for that triangle one more time. We all see it coming, and yet I got no issue with that, dude. That first triangle was close. Ooh, man, nice underhook there. This sweep looked like it could be money, dude, but I think that Arroyo's so confident that he can pull off several different things. He just hasn't picked the one. And it says, whoa, Nguyen's kick. You might be ahead of me here. And it says, this is an amazing example of the powers of great wrestling. Yeah, I could get behind that. It's also a great example of why don't we have other fighters available who are of a certain size? Like, I feel like Corona has just been like the Secret Santa gift exchange year for fight matchups, where they just get like some sort of branding and they go, okay, so hey, Christos, thank you for joining us last minute. You're gonna fight this guy. Oh my god, Fighter Secret Santa. What the fuck did I just come up with right now? You pull somebody's name out of a hat and that's your opponent. Holy fuck, I'm so smart. Shit. I still have time to put this on. Genius, Raph. Genius! What did you get me for Christmas? This fist. Boom. Arroyo is still ahead on the ground strikes. No surprise to anybody here. And he has... he's a little compromised position here. You're going to see Nguyen starting to drag him down a little bit here. But Arroyo, if he just stands upright, should be able to get out of that. That's just the size difference between these two. Let us see if Nguyen is able to finish this takedown. So I know a lot of you guys are talking about the striking prowess of Arroyo, and he's connected on a number of these really good shots. But it does bode well for him winning, even though you do see Nguyen forging ahead like nobody gives a fuck on a lot of the wrestling exchanges here. Unfortunately, especially now that we've seen some of these scorecards twice tonight, I would be very cautious about leaving it in any hand of any judge at this juncture. And look at Nguyen staying right on top of him. If he can maybe put in that leg on the inside of Arroyo's leg, it would really help him, I think, contain a little bit more. Instead now, he's literally utilizing the little brother version of trying to get your brother to stop being a dick when he's drunk. And it says takedowns versus strikes. Sure, you can call it that if you want. I'm not here to tell you how to do your job. I'm just telling you that is what I'm seeing here. And Arroyo just pushes Nguyen off of him, a la Andre the Giant. I would not love turning your back consistently, but I think he's maybe getting a little overconfident at this stage. That's just my take. You know, most Brazilians tend to be overconfident, especially those that show up in our Instagram comments. Just saying. All right, back into Arroyo's guard. And the little man is unleashing. Oh no, he's coming with the mouth covering. Motherfucker. Coming in with that smothering. I was in the process of giving Christopher James Velez a cheers. I will get back to that when we have a down second here in between the rounds. So don't think I've forgotten that. I just want to make sure that we all know we have to take care of the business at hand. But I will share this on my Facebook right now and let people know, join us. We're having a great time. I hope you guys are having a good time. I know I'm having a great time. And if Arroyo could make this work, there's a little bit of an omoplata work that he could make in here. He's got the rubber guard control that he could do. I just don't feel super confident about the flexibility in this particular given move set. He might be a little bit more tradish of the jiu-jitsu, but doing a pretty good job of blocking most of these strikes from Nguyen on the inside of that guard, and they will go to the end of the second round. One more round here, folks. Tell me what you guys feel. Do you feel it's been 2 rounds for Arroyo? Do you have it 1-1, or do you have one for the little guy? Tell me in the comment section. I would love to hear where you guys are at this moment, right now. Do it. Chime in. Do it. Go. And do that while I go ahead and give this a share on my personal Facebook, on my news feed. We're going all night here on the show. Join us for UFC Vegas 17. Wabam. Post. And it says, I think my ESPN feed is ahead of you, but good time listening. Absolutely. I'm perfectly okay with that. I like being a little bit behind people, if I'm being honest. And I see here 2-0 Arroyo, and it says last round 2 little guy. Could you imagine seeing a scorecard? Somebody just etches a little bit of notes here that just goes, last round. Is it okay to call him a midget? Do we not do that anymore? Little guy. Well, bam. 2018 Arroyo, but not looking good at all. Well, look at you. Ye of little faith. We'll see. He's looking a little bit more energetic right now in this third round. We'll see if he's able to keep that pace up. Ooh! Yay! Little dude with the takedown. And now he's just going to start trying to beat him up from inside. Arroyo starting to protect himself, covering up a lot of these strikes. And it says, more of a dwarf than a midget. Listen, dude. I'm not here to argue dwarf versus midget. I'm here to make a joke. And I don't have time to do the correct version of it. Plus, the informed version of the person I was making fun of there, the character I was playing, that was the intention there. Thank you, though, Kalma. Appreciate you. 4 minutes in this guard, and hey, Nguyen was ready for it. If you're Arroyo, you probably want to get up from this position. This over-cockiness in this particular moment may cost him a little bit. But again, Nguyen not caring. Oh, no. No, you can't knee bar small people. Don't you know that, dude? We're back on the feet right now, and now it is a striking exchange once again. Arroyo starting to dance away from him a little bit. Nguyen maybe feels that a little. Gets another takedown. He really has to avoid getting put in guard. And you are seeing Arroyo start to get extremely frustrated in terms of just getting placed in that guard consistently. Uh, 3 minutes, 16 seconds. This is Arroyo is looking tired. Yeah, I mean, fighting is tiring. That is something that we do hear quite often. So I wouldn't disagree with that. Arroyo is definitely like that drilling partner now that doesn't want to give you a full time to drill your side and is just flopping like a fish a little bit. I think Nguyen is just looking at cannonball on him. Not quite a cannonball, but this is a huge opportunity for him. No, not back into guard. God damn it. UFC tweets out that Bisping was out here writing Christmas lists. Well, this is why I'm glad you guys listen to me and not them. If we're being so honest. Well, this might be an interesting one. I see here, Ben Folk says, I, for one, appreciate Bisping's attempts to compensate for Cormier's pretty biased commentary in this fight. I'm just saying a nice treadmill would be nice. I don't agree with that, though. But, sure, if you guys feel that way. It says, telling you don't know the judges, but little guy has a shot. Or don't know the judges. You weren't putting that on me. I agree. We don't know. We really don't know how this is going to come. Little guy 100% has a shot. We've already seen the judges be a little squirrely tonight, not to really throw a fight that shouldn't have gone a certain way, but they've given me a little bit of an indication that they might not be the world's smartest. And the output from Arroyo, especially starting to wane right now, and just lean on his obvious size advantage, might not be enough. I mean, actively, this third round is going to go to Nguyen. So the real question is, how's it going to work? Well, listen, Christopher James Velez, you asked me how do you have this fight scored right now, 19-19? It appears that everybody in the comment section is already coming to do that job for me. And it says, right? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's dicey. I think you could arguably say Arroyo wins round 1. Round 2 depends on output. Round 3 is going to win. So will Nguyen win? Pause for laughs. All right, hilarious. 36 seconds. I don't know. Stranger things could happen because, I mean, he was definitely pushing more of the pace in that second round. And, yeah. We'll have to see. And it says, if Rey Mysterio was an MMA fighter. God, I hope so. That's what we need more of. More of Dominic Mysterio in this UFC. It says it's in his name. Well, thank you for catching on here, Christopher James Velez. That's going to end the fight here, kids. It says, Nguyen has been in control the entire time. I think he deserves the win. He's got a shot, man. He might have done enough. So I think, the camera's staying on him on this one. So it's likely that they're telling you at UFC they think that he's going to be the victor. He might just pick up the win here. We'll have to see if the judges screw anything up. But I think that Arroyo's lethargicness throughout a large portion of that fight may end up coming back to haunt him, who by all means should have won. But what are you going to do? All right. This toast goes on out to our good friend Christopher James Velez. You may not know this about Christopher James Velez, but a long time ago, he was the guy who said, hey, you know where the Raiders need to go? They need to go to Las Vegas. Here's why. Trashy team, make it a trashy color, and nobody loves being in hot weather more than people who are in black buildings when the sun's just going to beat down on you. Genius. Let all of them melt away. And that's why we cheers our good friend, Christopher James Velez. Cheers to you, good sir. All right, let's see how this one plays out. We'll read you guys the scores. Appreciate y'all coming on in. My name's Rafa Esparza. I host a show called The Grappling Hour. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you chiming in. We basically integrate your comments into the show, so you are not only responsible for chiming in to say hello, but we keep you responsible for the content of the show as well. And Nguyen gets the win. He goes over to shake his hand on a stepladder. But good for Duran Nguyen. What a fight here, kids. It's such a great joke. So the Washington Post says, every time you listen to Bing Crosby's White Christmas, about 5 people have died from the coronavirus between the beginning and the end of the song. Robbie Slowick tweets out, guys, stop listening to White Christmas ASAP. Amazing joke. Well done. All right, kids. Who do you got on this one? Do you got Eubanks, or do you have her opponent, who is Kinzad? Kianzad? Okay, whatever you say. You keep your secrets, UFC. So, Kianzad or one Eubanks. Chime off in the comment section. Let me know who you're going for. We have so many people who are tuning in with us right now. I appreciate you guys. We're having a great time. So we're going to do 2 more fights, and then we are going to go to the main event. When we go into those main cards, we're going to hit it hard. We're going to come aggressive. We're just doing the same thing. As a nice reminder, tonight's drink of the podcast so far is the Two Coast Heffenweisen, compliments of our friends over at Blackbeard Craft Brewing Company. They're great folks. Appreciate them. They're friends. They're family. And you know what? I'm very much enjoying the beer. It's a nice light way of starting the night off. Also, if you would like a cheers like our good friend over Christopher James Velez, it's very simple. All you have to do, give us a like and a share on Facebook. If you're watching on Instagram, give us lots of hearts and tell us you did it. And if you're watching on the YouTubes, give us a subscription and we will give you a cheers on air. It's that simple, people. We really just try to give these cheers away. And also, if you want to love us here at the show, the best way to ever show your support is to buy these new, hot off the presses, Grappling Hour shirts. Guaranteed to give you 15 more submissions per year. Also, Grappling Hour is not responsible if you have a shirty guard or any kind of jiu-jitsu. Kianzad from Robert says, Eubanks is a brawler. Love that, but to steal your phrase, Dicey thinking she can beat the ground game. You're welcome. I don't know that I've trademarked that, but I'll take it. If John Anik has some Anikisms, I think it would be very fair to say Raph loves to say the word dicey. Love it. Appreciate it. All right. Y'all have been so fun and so entertaining to hang out with tonight. I'm enjoying your guys' comments. I'm enjoying your guys' as well. I like that you guys are giving me your picks now. I'm going to go ahead and share this 2 more times just to remind y'all of what is happening over on our side. But Jesus Christ, it is a great day for combat sports. I've been very much appreciating all of the different notes that we've gotten as well as we've been going live today. All right. Sorry for the hearts. Every time I touch the screen, that happens. You're more than welcome to give us hearts. We appreciate the hearts. Hearts are good. They tell people that this is a good broadcast, and it brings more attention to us. So that's all we can do. And apparently Periscope's going away, so I don't even know how we're going to do this in the future on that channel. I think we might just be on a Twitter version of something. I don't care. I just like that people show up and say hello to us and become friends with us, and then always start to watch our show. Which, by the way, Chase Hooper will be on the next edition of Grappling Hour. Oh, no, that one's Verbal Tap. My apologies. Grappling Hour returns tomorrow with another fight companion, and that is going to be with our friends. We're doing a panel show for that one, and that is going to be for Combat Jiu-Jitsu at noon, Best Coast time, and then Submission Underground 19. So look out for those things. It's going to be a phenomenal time. But continuing to drink more beer. Oh, what a day. I will ask this now. Have you guys finished your Christmas shopping? Because we're running out of time. You guys may not be able to get that shit in on time. Hopefully, you have gotten your loved ones their gifts. If not, cut out pictures of it. Put it in a little card and then tell people, hey, I got this for you. But the USPS has been very badly defunded. Mostly their fault. See how that works. It might. I think this is the year to do it, right? So anyway. Here we go. We're about to go straight into those fights. It says, Facebook Live it, dude. And link me to the shirts. This is my last comment for a while. I look stocky. Don't feel bad at all. I'll link on right now where you can buy the shirts from. My apologies. This show is based off of user integrations, so I have no problems. There's not really a stocky, and if they are stocky, they get banned. You're actually participating within the realm of the show. We appreciate that. So let me see here. Kevin Gallagher. Oh, I forget those dummies. Over at Old Man Grappling Hour have a shirt as well. Noted. I'm going to go after my little note here, and then we'll get you a little shirt in a second. All right. We are going straight to the action right now, and we will be commentating that as we go. I appreciate you guys for joining in. Round number 1. You got Eubanks in the blue trunks and Kyanzad in the black trunks. I am not a robot. I'm going to get you guys the address so where you can buy some of our, what's up, Beats Boutique. Appreciate y'all. Ooh, off to a good start here. Eubanks charging ahead here, people. Great takedown, though. Eubanks on top. She's in the half guard. She is actually A-okay just staying here. I won't be surprised if she switches on over to starting to get some strikes here in just a second. She tries to keep her contained. Iran Number Van. Look at this. Beautiful start right now thus far in. Almost wraps around the legs, but instead gets a body triangle. Or I'm sorry, not a body triangle, but a grip around the body. She's absorbing a couple of these elbows, but man, the weightlessness, eek, beautifully done. Looks like something Gabe has me do when I'm doing strength and conditioning with him. What's up, Alyssa? Good to see you. Hopefully you are doing fantastic. We're going to put links where you guys can purchase the Grappling Hour t-shirts in just a second, but we are still making sure that we are taking care of you guys on the commentary, almost at a crucifix kind of position here. Yep. Settling into that half guard, putting the pressure on from there. You might see her be able to bring up that left knee as in to take a full mount. Underneath, there is an attempt to kind of keep a hand on the hip, maybe push her back a little bit, but that actually helps her a little bit. It's almost like you push her back a little bit and it almost releases the knee sometimes. Huh. Good pressure here by Eubanks. Yeah, I mean, she is more than free to slide that knee at any time she wants. I think she's very comfortable in this position, and it's just a matter of when she can find her striking distance here. Kinzad getting a good knee shield here. What's up, Morgan? Good to see you, bro. Oh, hey, Morgan, I should tell you this. You might not know this. You want to see what you won? Morgan picked not all, but almost, I think he did get all. I think he ran a gamut on this one for the UFC pay-per-view that we just had. And he won a gift. And guess what you won, Morgan? You won one of these. This is the official Grappling Hour t-shirts. You will be one of the first people to get this. So, yeah, that's when I tell you guys, go vote on our polls. You win cool shit. Not only do you win cool shit, you win shit that other people don't even have yet. So this is what he is getting in the mail soon enough. So, Morgan, we look forward to seeing you sport it and become part of the Grappling Hour army. It says high guard armbar. Absolutely. That is working quite nicely for Kinzad. The only thing that's still, I mean, it's dicey. Triangle is a much better attempt from this portion here. I think she's got a better idea of where to go. Eubanks getting both shoulders in. And now she is, that's the worst. I hate when they're out of danger and then immediately put themselves right back in. Dangerous. Eubanks, very savvy to it, puts herself right back into a comfortable side mount position. Now just trying to block all the movement, controlling the hips, controlling the shoulder here. She's going to get put right back into that half guard setting. Oh, she is. I hear one Bisping saying she needs to fight out of urgency, and I don't necessarily disagree with that. The only thing that I would say to you right now is that Eubanks is making her way into a good grappling position. The back is exposed here. She could potentially start working to get underneath the chin. Kinzad looking very comfortable. There's not going to be enough time to get a choke, though. So we're going to end this round and go into a second round in just a second. Ugh. Well, that is where we're at. All right. It says, expect Eubanks up those ranks in 2021. One can only hope. So let me see here. I got to double check. There we go. Grappling Hour shirt. Let me see if I can go ahead and put this on a link for y'all. So, let me see. View in store. Sorry, this takes a second to go and pull it up. And then I think you guys should be able to go ahead and see it. When you get it, pick one up for yourself, pick one up for a friend. And it says those grappling exchanges were a beautiful. I would agree with that, my friend. So let me see here. Create another listing. View. Oh, promote. Promote my listing. That's the one to do. All right, everybody, here we go. We're into the second round of the fight, and you do see Kinsad working a little bit harder here. Eubanks grabbing around one of the arms here, has great control up against the cage. She's going to keep her there. Just taking a while to look and appreciate some of the tattoo work over here by Eubanks, though. I'm sorry, by Kinsad. Very interesting fight here, just in terms of the pressure that she's putting on her. It's very selective, very calculated. Ooh, nice trip attempt by Kinsad, though. Again, these shoulder strikes are going to be the money portion of today. Let's see, she has 2 underhooks, trying to just weigh her down. Does not fully get what she wanted there, but they stand right back up and get right back against the cage. So far, so good, though. Bisping saying the best defense is some offense, which, that's what you get when you're over here on the UFC. When you're looking for that live commentary from them, that's the stuff that you really pay the big bucks for. So let me see if this comes in from that side. I think it might. I think it might just go from my laptop. Beautiful. Nope, that's not the right one. Pulling something from one to another so y'all can go ahead and get the link where you can pick up the shirts from. And then once we do that, y'all go buy yourself something nice from them. I'm going to email it to myself. And Bisping is saying, these elbows, these positions do suck. Yeah, I gotta tell you, man, since we've started doing this, I have not missed listening to the commentary of DC or Bisping or any of them. It has been such a wonderful exploration. I've been so happy that you guys have come and shown up week after week. I will let you know that means from April on forward, we have had a show every single UFC event for this year. So, not to brag, but we've been doing pretty good here, fam. Pretty proud of what we do. So let me see. Can I add any comments? Ooh. Armbar is coming closer right now. Eubanks just needs to be very cautious that positioning of the knee underneath the butt is perfectly done. Now you just don't want to rush it. You don't want to pull and lose that positioning or give your opponent the opportunity. She swings it back in to open up the guard and then puts her straight back into a traditional guard. You see Eubanks on top, maybe getting in a few strikes, and Kinsad trying to go for it one more time just for a split second, had the triangle, and maybe gets a few punches in for her efforts. Ooh. Good movement there. Kinsad says something to look forward to at the end of a work week. Absolutely, man. It's been fun to do these, especially getting back to work. It's been like, oh man, I can't wait to do one of these again. All right, Kinsad really has to make up for some lost time here. There's only 50 seconds left to go in the second round. All right, Eubanks circles on out, takes control of the center of the octagon, but she might be a half second behind Kinsad here. And just looking at the movement of Eubanks, a little more flat-footed here. I don't think that's partially a strategy. I think that's mostly her trying to get her win back. Goes for a takedown, changes the level, rushes her over to the cage. Elbows in from Kinsad on her side. Don't love all of these elbows to my face. Please don't. and we expire on the time. Good stuff there. So let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and copy that link. Not to reading list, you dummy. I just want to copy the link. All right, this is to our friends over this way. Hopefully you guys will see this on your side. Well, bam. This action cannot be done. Okay. All right. I'll put this on over on our feed so that you guys can go find it for yourselves. Go buy yourself some Grappling Hour t-shirt apparels. All right. How do you guys have this fight scored thus far in? Would love to hear it. Chime on in the comment section below. Wham. Is that a good way to put it? Oh, you guys can see that, right? Whoop. Out of frame, out of shot. Final round. I wonder if I could just put that in the comments. Normally it allows me to comment back, but I have a new system here, so I just got to put them in manually. So I can do that. Here we go. Third and final round, 4:33 on my clock right now. Hopefully that is close to where y'all are. I'm going to take a quick look to make sure we've given everybody the proper amount of cheers and toast that we have promised on out during the show. So far, it's looking good. It says tweet it out. I'll track it down. Awesome. It says 1919. I see that on your side here. I can kind of get down with that. Very close fight. I do think Eubanks is exhausted, though. Oof. Let me see. These last few seconds in this round, though, at 3:38, if you guys feel it's a tie sort of situation, I'm wondering what it is you need to do to really become ahead. If you see Eubanks is getting a little tired here, you almost do have to forge ahead a little bit more. You have to be very weary of her ability to shoot in on these takedowns. And you've seen Kinzad have enough time to go ahead and pull in some of these submissions, a lot of them being armbar, triangle based. I think you build that into the plan, but that is hard to pull off. You need time to get some of those submissions, at least from the setups that I've seen from her thus far in. Meanwhile, good striking over here by both ladies. Kinzad still trying to edge her just right now on all of these. Ooh, nice exchange here. Beautifully done. Kinzad's finding a range back again. Eubanks wants to desperately keep it going. There we go. I've put it in the Facebook. You guys can now see where to find it. Now we're going to go ahead and make sure that we put it on the YouTube page. I'm going to circle back on over for the Periscope in just a moment. Boom. Added that one right there. You guys can see that in the comment sections. Just in case you don't know it, you'll see this at the top of the Facebook page. So be sure to go ahead and find that. It's pinned to the very top of the comment section. Would love it if you guys go and give us some love. Buy a shirt. Support the show. You can do it. We love it. We know it. We appreciate it. Check it out again. Look at that. Official Grappling Hour t-shirt. Feeling it. Loving it. Appreciating your support. And then over for our friends over on Instagram, I got nothing for you right now. We'll come back and we'll fix that one. What is up, Adrian? It's been a beautiful back and forth display between both of these ladies. Kinzat might be doing just enough to go and eke out a win. I mean, Eubanks is charging forward. I think that she might... I know that she's tired, but if she can continue on a very solid pace here... It says, be right back after this fight with my t-shirt order. Appreciate that, my friends. Thank you very much. Ooh, Kitsad now really starting to make things uncomfortable. Brand new t-shirt right here, fam. Well, bam. And I'm going to go ahead and share that one on over on our Verbal Tap Twitter. There we go. Yeah, Kinzad might actually get the win off of this one. Nice fight, ladies. Well done. All right. Where do you guys have it? I see a close fight here. Notation. What do you guys have on Instagram? Talk to me. Tell me what you guys are thinking, what you're feeling, what you know. Some of you may very well have an opinion on exactly how this one's going to play out. I would love to hear it. That one's going to be close. Man. Eubanks was leading so much of that just in terms of takedown and pressure. Kinzad was working those submissions from underneath. 29-28. K. Eubanks by split decision. Okay. How about you, Abode? What do you got? I like that they're showing a nice highlight package of sports within 2020 and the year that was, and all I could think of is less of that. I don't need to see anything. I see a 29-28 for Kinzad. Huh? Which fight on the main card are you most excited for? Okay, I was telling Dan Hubler a little bit earlier, I like Stephen Thompson. I don't know how much I feel like I need to see him versus Jeff Neal, but here we are. I think the sleeper one that I'm excited for is No Way Jose Aldo versus Marlon Vera. Marlon Vera has been climbing the ranks. I think that kid is a monster. There's a lot of excitement on that guy, and there should be. And yes, Kinzad ends up getting the unanimous decision, 29-28. All three judges. I can't disagree with that. I think that she did an excellent job. I thought Eubanks was edging it out at the very beginning, but I just couldn't see all the way through that happening. So, yeah, Robert, to answer your question, I think the fight that I'm still the most excited to watch tonight is going to be the Marlon Vera and No Way Jose Aldo. I just want to see... And Aldo's in such a place where he's like, dude, what the fuck else do I have to do? I don't even care. I just want to fight. Marlon Vera could continue to propel his way up the ranks. And he said it very bluntly where he said, hey, listen, he's going down on the ranks. I'm going up. There you have it. And it says, so you're going to go for Cheeto tonight? Yes. Yes, I would like to see him continue to propel up the ranks. That's just me, man. I don't know where you guys are feeling or what you're thinking on that one, but I just think it would be nice to see that man continue to do good things within that cage. He's a very underrated fighter, and I think he's just starting to get his shine on right now. Now, how wild is this? Anthony Pettis is now at the top of the UFC preliminary card, and they keep showing highlights like this that were from 10 years ago. And if you really think about the journey that he's taken as a mixed martial artist, I just always get excited to watch Anthony Pettis fight. So that's my thought. Thor, who do you have tonight? Do you got Marlon Vera, or do you have one No Way Jose Aldo? We will take your comments in the comment section. So Pettis had some very revealing statements this week where he said that he was highly highly down a dark path of drinking too much, and that was what led him to take a fight against a very dangerous Tony Ferguson just without really thinking about it. So he admits now he has his head on straight. He's fighting with a lot more purpose. You know, I've hurt for that, man. That sucks to hear, but I'm glad to see that he's continuing to fight, and hopefully he's got his head in a better space. But that was one of those things when you see a fighter admit those sorts of things that you go, yeah, you know, I think we joke about somebody taking that fight. They must be on drugs. They must be drunk or something to want to take that. But for him, you know, dude, when you're a fighter, that's what you do. You take the fight. So that's where we're at. Love Cheeto. Kid's a monster. Absolutely, man. Kid is un beast, one might say. All right, sound off. Do you guys got Pettis on this one? Do you have Morano on this one? So Morano, apparently, according to the little bit of background I hear right now, they're saying that he knows this is an opportunity, and the respect that he has for Pettis is very high. Christopher James Velez chimes in and says, I like Pettis because he can always show up and be dangerous. It's like you don't know what he's going to do. Absolutely. And there's a whole thing, dude. I really would have loved to have seen the Pettis Showtime era go on for longer, and I think it's just, it is what it is. Holy fuck, shipping's $15? I didn't know that. Yeah. Fam, I didn't know that. I even got a note that said shipping's free for me. You can still fans receive after the holidays. We're running free standard shipping in the U.S. for all orders. Where are you at, If so, no worries, but I'd rather pay you a $40 subscription. Okay. We're going to have to figure that one out. Where are you based out of? I guess that's the question. Because sometimes I can't tell when I see something like that here where it tells me free shipping. But I can't tell if it's just because I'm a product maker. Free shipping on all orders in the U.S. Yeah, you have to be outside the U.S., right? Let's revisit that one in a bit. Who is this Laura Sanko lady? She's great. I love Laura. I got no beef with her. Where do you go for the Padilla fight? That's a good one. Michelle Perea. I gotta go with him, man. Versus Chaos Williams. Yeah, I mean, Perea's fucking flashy as fuck, dude. And I kind of like that. I'm not gonna hate on that. We need flashy every once in a while. Don't you think? It says, if Morano was undefeated, I'd have a hilarious better not lose the zero punchline. Yeah, I think so. Better not lose, though. Yeah, that's a good one. What's up, Sasha? Hope you're doing well, bud. Hope you were feeling good. I hope that you were enjoying your combat sports day of fun. I know you've been watching all the different entities and things. Hopefully you're learning some things with the kickboxing. And it says he's also unpredictable. Yes, he is. I would agree with that. Chaos is a monster. I agree with that. I'm not going to go against you. It says, wow, Pettis is 33. Absolutely. Should be a banger. Yes. I think when people say it should be a banger, it makes me think like it's a great song that Usher just put out. Yeah, that shit's a banger, bro. You hear that new Usher track? It's banger. It's banging. 18-6 is a pretty good record, though, so I'll go with that. Let's see what the kid does. Just let them bang, bro. It's a banger. Just let them bang. At this point, I feel like I'm just spouting out fucking taglines from Nike's company. Just do it. Just let them bang. Just be a bro, bro. All right, Pettis. We want to see you do this, man. Oh, God. DC finding a bunch of euphemisms for I suspect Anthony Pettis had sex with a bunch of different women while he was champ. Gross. Monster isn't happy with you right now. Absolutely. Hey, you know what? If Monster pays me, I will cut them the sickest promos in the world. But until then, no. Also, I'll level with you guys. If Monster did sponsor us, I probably wouldn't drink it. Ooh, no, Murano. Oh, shit. Murano's in on the back already. Fuck. Don't. Showtime, boy. And I hear, oh, shit. Yeah, no, you're not wrong with that, Christopher James Velez. I do not love this position, especially when you have a hungry new fighter who's closing in on trying to bring in a lot of these strikes that look like they have good hands. And you're seeing Pettis start to cover up a little bit. He is compromised. He's trying to shuck him off. Murano does not look like he wants to go anywhere now. I think Pettis may have to give up the back here, but instead, Murano not even giving him the opportunity to. And it says Pettis already has his back taken. Yeah, no, that's really dicey, and I don't love it. What's up, Jits Mom? This is the stuff that makes me feel bad. To his credit, things are calming a little bit. Face is a little bit red. Might already be scar tissue from his last fight with Tony. That's already into play. Murano is inching that body triangle. You see him very subtly start to get it. Yep. He's going to be able to move over close to the edge of the cage. Body triangle on the inside of the legs. No, not a body lock. Yeah, dude. Body locks are no bueno. He's really got to pummel that leg underneath. I see Pettis trying to do the right things. It says first blood drawn too. Yeah. This isn't great. This just makes me like my blood pressure rise for no reason. Pettis trying to strike while also holding a 2-on-1 against his back. Murano has somewhat of a grip. Imagine though, Murano, if he does get a submission over on Pettis, that would be huge for that man. Pettis is trying to raise his hips a little bit, which is good. If he can get the back to the mat a little bit more, you will see him. Yep. Turn. Nice. Well done here, Pettis. There's a butterfly hook from Murano underneath. And it says, okay, Pettis is, this not even finished. That's all Christopher James Velez puts. Just, okay, Pettis is, I think he's trying to say out, but I would be very weary of that triangle danger, and he is. Nice. Watch, stuff. We got to shuck him down, Pettis. Nice knee from there. And Murano does not look like he's missed a beat. Fuck, I think that made him stronger. Uh-oh. Not looking well in this first round from, Anthony Showtime Pettis. There we go, on his feet. It was a little bit of a delay. That comment. Yes, Christopher James Velez, I see you, bro. My God. This shit makes me fucking so nervous to see. I like that we're sitting here right before the fight goes, man, I'm really rooting for Anthony Pettis. I hope he got his life together. No, he's got his back taken. That's going to be the first 4 minutes of this fight, right? He's coming back, Raph. No, I see you. He is coming back. He's definitely still in the fight. That's not the issue. It's just you're going to see him be a little bit more hesitant to do something stupid. I think you might see him have to wait till we get to the second round to hear his corner give him some advice. And it says, sorry, there was too much drama in the position. And it says, funny Toyo timing. Ooh, Pettis is not really even getting a striking off here. I think he's just so taken aback. Good kick there to the inside leg. There we go, Showtime Pettis. That's that spinning back shit we like to see from you, bro. But Murano don't care, man. Murano's in a fucking bull China shop phase of his career right now. No, don't kick him like that. Every time I see a slip or something that is very concerning. Very, very, very nervous. He's got the back, drags him down. Pettis thought for a knee bar, maybe uses it to kind of get this nice kind of almost catch wrestling scoop here. He's in half. He is on top. That's just 10 seconds to work from here. But Morano is a machine, dude. Look at these transitions. Even though Christopher James Velez is saying, yes, Pettis is on top, the efficiency in which Morano is working is concerning. That's kind of like that Terminator 2 energy where the T-1000's coming in and you go, are you going to stop? Let me back into this fight, you dick. It says that weighs a lot. He's been in too many wars. Yeah, I'd agree. Oh, man. Nerve-wracking. I'm going to take a look at this while we look at Anthony Pettis' career, which is, of course, I think they mentioned it was 23-0, or I'm sorry, 23-10. Just giving a few of these. Last was a win against Donald Cerrone. 2 losses before that to Nate Diaz, Carlos Diego Ferreira, Stephen Thompson, Tony Ferguson, Michael Chiazza, Dustin Poirier, Jim Miller, Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira, who he has a submission win over, by the way, who is on the upside. Losses to Edson Barboza, Eddie Alvarez, and Rafael Dos Anjos. That just takes you back to March 2015. Whoa, man, that's so many fights. I mean, he's been active. Second fight of this year, he fought Carlos Ferreira, getting choked out back in January of this year when they had fans. And it says 29 Morano. Suri hates me. I see you, bro. And it says that eye is going to cause Pettis some problems. Absolutely on that regard. I mean, just look at the way that Pettis is backpedaling at this point. It says Morano is slipping these punches. He absolutely is. But dude, he's not scared of Pettis. He's charging ahead. There's no respect for the former champ at all. And it says, if Pettis doesn't attempt to jump off the cage, I'm gonna be heated. Well, listen, dude, this is the shit when you start trying to pull all your Batman theatrics and make that work. If you're Pettis, this backpedaling is highly concerning to me, especially with Morano, who, yeah, dude, there's not even a hint of let's even stop. He's just charging ahead on Pettis. He's just trying to dance him around him a little bit right now. Eek. Kwakikalma says Pettis is done. Maybe. Possibly. Might be looking at that. I'll tell you this. Doesn't feel good to say or hear. Doesn't mean it's not true. Pettis is just one of those kids, man. We've seen him fight for so long that we've taken for granted. I mean, he's just willing to put in as good of a show as possible, but you're right. It does take a toll on you, man. I just feel bad seeing it kind of go like this. Of course, anything can happen. Morano, though, is not giving me much hope for Pettis. I think Morano's also just kind of saying, I probably could eat half of these punches that Pettis is throwing my direction. Man, just thinking about this too. Pettis also has a win over Stephen Thompson, like Wonder Boy, the guy at the top of this card here tonight. Having a win over him, over Michael Chiazza, and then Jim Miller. Like, dude, these are not easy people to beat, so you don't overlook what those wins mean. But you just wonder if they are etched in what the past was. Meanwhile, whoever put this together gifted one Morano a huge opportunity. Morano's last few fights have gone as such. A win over Rise McKee. Against Chaos Williams, he has a loss via punches. That was back at February 2020. Max Griffin, win. Zach Otto, win. Song Kinnon, win. Nico Price, he had a no contest. It was originally a KO for Price, and it was overturned after he tested positive for marijuana. Jesus Christ. That fucking bullshit. Yeah, I mean, again, this would probably be the most prominent win on his record, and it is looking incredibly possible. Though it says here, Morano is slowing down from our good friend Christopher James Velez. I mean, no, I don't think that's necessarily the case. Yeah, no, this still looks like he's fast and still in it. Maybe from the pace he was doing in the first round. That doesn't make any of this any less terrifying to see. So there is that. So it's 4 p.m. right now. It does seem that once this ends, they're going to quickly segue into the main broadcast, which is still batshit absurd. Slight break in the action. They return back. Morano just keeps like clipping half of these punches that Pettis is throwing. Nice takedown. Pettis, oof. I don't even know that Pettis wanted to waste his energy trying to do a grappling exchange with him there. That's a very interesting sign. Nice catch on the kick, but Pettis comes in with a good right hand. Beautifully done. Okay. Oof. You know, in the last 5 seconds, let's just both agree to do some spinning nonsense. Double spinning shit is pretty hilariously done. All right. Some slight signs of life for Anthony Pettis in this. And it says, Pettis is keeping it standing. Smart move. I agree with you, Robert. And could pay off for him. We'll see how it plays within this final round. God, it's just so sad to be this concerned for Pettis. It says Akamoto is saying it's tied up 1-1. And it says gotta give second round to Pettis. 19-19. Okay. We'll see how it plays out. He definitely was getting some really good solid exchanges in there. I thought that they were closer to the second half of that round. But I'm not going to disagree with you guys. Apparently they're saying Alex Morano's corner is a completely different group of folks. And here we go, Pettis. Morano, round number 3. This is it. This is where we decide it here, kids. Pettis coming in with a few kicks. Oh, nice high kick there from Pettis. I think this is more to the fight that Pettis wanted to fight. He just got a little surprised. I'm with you, just like Pettis. Absolutely, man. I see a damn it comment happening right now. Yep, that's not great. I mean, this is not where you want to be. But Pettis does end up in the guard. So he is on top. We've seen him work decently well from here. I like Morano's grip on that left arm of Pettis's. I like that we're seeing it happen real time for Christopher James Velez, who goes, okay, can't type what feelings so hard to express. But again, Morano, look, he's on a lot of energy still here. Pettis has to be very careful about that grip on his left hand. He's trying to tripod up to come up a little bit heavier. Morano looking very nicely for a guillotine. There is a sweep opportunity there, but Morano's so just put under duress that he has no time to address it. This is a huge opportunity for Pettis. He has to stay out of that closed guard right now, putting everything he's got into just passing. It says Morano is probably getting nervous right now. Maybe. But this is a great opportunity. Pettis needs to maybe let go a little bit more here. Morano is just one sweep away from making this a very uncomfortable predicament for Pettis. But Pettis might be sensing the energy depletion from Morano. He's being very cautious about how he's approaching this last few seconds. 2 minutes, 38 seconds. For a split second, you almost saw both of them look like they were going to be standing back up. Morano gets to a closed guard. You might see him scoop underneath for this leg that Pettis is platforming. But Pettis now slowly transitioning, leg underneath. Yep. That's nice. If I'm Pettis, this is a good position to start throwing in some strikes. Morano again closes the guard very, very cautiously here. You know, there might be enough time for a number of different scenarios here. Morano still trying to control that wrist, trying to make sure maybe he can get in a triangle choke here. Pettis, for his part, doing pretty well, has to be very cautious about where his arm and his legs are at all times. Pettis now positioning, shoving his whole body in against him as to maintain that top control. I saw a note that just said not much offense from Pettis, but I think he's more so just trying to maintain this position. Being in this top position will be very big for him, even if he's not continuously striking him. Pettis tried to go for a hook, doesn't get it in. You're going to see Morano just turn right back into him. The cameraman getting a little bit of that headshot real close to the body there. Then Pettis coming in with a few knees. I mean, listen, I know we were talking about the unfortunate timely death of Anthony Pettis, but the rumors of his death have been greatly exaggerated. As you see him right now, pushing in with the head positioning here, he might be strategically using some vet tricks that will give him the win. We'll have to see if it pays off. 44 seconds left on my clock. We are winding down. Morano probably knows this round is very heavily judged in Pettis' favor with a beautiful uppercut there by Pettis. Nice kick. Beautiful spinning back kick that wobbles Morano. Pettis now feeling it. Morano trying to shoot down. Pettis has a guillotine here. He opts to let it go, but instead will take the top position. That's going to be enough, I believe, for him to secure the fight with this. It says he is still in this fight. Look at this. So Dana's cutting 60. I got it. 29-28 Pettis, but never leave it to the judges. I'm sure what you're saying here. And Pettis almost dancing with the sort of vibe that somebody gets when they're about to cut a TikTok video, and he extends a hand over to Morano, who does not look like he is 100% with it. I think this background kick is going to be enough for him. Yeah, it clipped him right up the top, and it wobbled him a little bit. What's up, the Nixter? Ooh. The accuracy on that spinning back kick, though. Oh, that is going to be enough for him to win the fight. Wow. We'll let this be a lesson to myself as well. I see the kicks. Never discount Anthony Showtime Pettis. Pettis is a monster, man. I see all Pettis to me. Yeah. We'll have to make sure that the judges don't over or under do this one, but I feel pretty good about Anthony Pettis taking that one. I feel like he did enough in the second and the third round. Should be just enough. That last round solidified it. Could not agree more. I think those last few seconds there, the spinning back kick, mwah. Ben Folks even chimes in and says, that's an Anthony Pettis fight. And I'll be honest, I had my doubts going into that one. I think we all do. That clip should be replayed about 1,000 more times. Good for him. Plot twist. The judges only watched 30 seconds. 29-28. Unanimous decision. And Anthony Showtime Pettis, Morano even knows it. He finds a way to win. Holy fuck. The first 30 seconds. And it says, he's still in there, baby. Oh, look, it just barely put up my comment. I put that comment up 30, 40 minutes ago. Thanks, YouTube. Say NJ's that. Absolutely. I love this. The selfie game. On point. Anthony Showtime Pettis showing us that, yo, you can have a rough first round. It says, now that first 20 seconds was funny. Oh, man. What a day. I imagine they're going to want to talk to him, though, right? Show it. 3. Yep. These kicks are always such a huge moment for Anthony Showtime Pettis. And yeah, it was probably not well-timed first kick, but that last kick that he leaves us with is just, dude, that's why we watch his fights. That's why we get excited for him. Says, hope he gets a UFC contract renewal. If he doesn't, man, you know what? He can go other places. I think he could get good money off of Bellator or ONE FC. I just think that he's somebody who has made good use of his time in the UFC, man. That was my note, was I did say a little bit earlier. And he said, yeah, he got caught with a hook right after that roundhouse in the first round. But one of the things I did say was, man, he needs to make it to that second round so he can get some corner advice. So we're talking about working with Robert Drysdale. And Pettis giving a nice shout out to him, saying he's the man when it comes to jiu-jitsu. And he's saying his goal is to stick back down to 155. Yeah, seems like it is, Christopher James Les. And he is in a good mood, letting out a huge woo. All right, here's what we're doing right now. We're going to take a momentary break. We're going to come back for the action in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Come find us back at Verbal Tap. Come find us back over on Grappling Hour on all the major channels. I love and appreciate you guys. We're going to do up the main card in just a few minutes. See you guys in just a few. Peace.